All right, so welcome back to Regiment on the Run. Today we have a wonderful session for our beleaguered party members. Last time around, they fled from a completely foobar military engagement. They are from the Empire of Enikos, which has rediscovered magic by way of processing souls into magical energy. They are invading the Vigan mainlands, and it is going poorly. Last time around, the party realized that they were the targets of some absolutely nasty magical spells that were coming for their butts. They managed to escape and even recruited some of the ailing military forces that they found along the way. They did not get into too many fights, although Ert might have gotten his shoulder dislocated and relocated. And let's not think about where the person who did that is going to be. It's a surprise. So, today, the party is heading southeast, and they are trying to meet up with a reserve military faction for Enikos that was heading southwards in order to scout out the land and make sure that there were no threats. Obviously, they were bad at their jobs, but that means that there might be some forces that the party can meet up with. Unfortunately, the CRT squad, those being Zann's wonderful friends, have reported in that there might be some obstacles along the way. So, here we are at our wonderful camp. Say hello to Terry, Zann, and Ert as they lord over their wonderful military installation. Before things start getting hectic, you need to start making choices about how the army is going to behave itself and what kind of things you're going to do with all your soldiers. And there are, of course, NPCs that you can talk to as well.
Zan is just standing there with his hands up in the air, looking at Terry, saying, "Terry, I don't know why they keep calling it the CRT squad. I know the T stands for team, and the squad, a team squad is really weird, but it's the Empire. It's not me, man."
I call them mercs.
Just Terry just kind of shrugs and just it's an endearing acronym. That's about all I can gather.
Next will be called the CRTS squad. I'm ready for that one.
What would the S stand for?
The Combat Reconnaissance Team Squad. Because right now it's currently Combat Reconnaissance Team Squad. I don't know why.
Don't know about that.
Ert's just staring at you. He doesn't understand any of this shit.
It's military acronyms. You don't need to understand it.
Are you guys ready for something actually important?
Yes. Tell us,
Does
Ert.
it have to do with runes again?
Does it have to do with Katie?
Katie is fine.
Good.
No, I have created something,
Oh.
and I want you all to stand in awe. Okay, you guys have seen those bags? They got the bags where you can put more shit in them than they actually have. They're like dimensional gateways and shit.
It's called
Yeah.
a bag of holding, yes.
I have made one of those.
Ooh. Like 1-for-1 copy?
I mean, it would help if I'd actually seen one.
Wait, you've never seen one before?
We don't got one.
You guys need to get out more. They're all over the place here on the continent.
Well, the elf didn't bring us one.
It's you think I'm from here?
I mean, you're the one who goes around here. In any case, the bag's ready. Prepare to be amazed. And so now Ert's gonna bring out his bag.
Zan shifts slightly behind Terry just in case the bag explodes.
Okay. Do your best, cram as much shit as you want in it, or just holds the bag in front of you.
Yes, Terry. Try your best to cram as much as you can into this bag.
Ert shuffles up to Terry.
Terry is just sitting there just like I'd rather not.
Oh, fine. I'll do it. I'll take ooh, what's Terry standing next to right there? I'll take some of the stuff around Terry, some of the bags, the sword, what's that to the left of Terry that's on that in the tent, and just start shoving it in the bag.
All right,
Okay.
you shove it into the bag. The moment something enters into the bag, the entire bag becomes rigid,
Rigid as it okay.
as in it is being inflated from the inside.
Does it expand?
Yes, the more things that you put into the bag, the more it expands.
Does it get heavier?
It does not get heavier. However, it's swelling up like a balloon in a distinctly alarming fashion.
Zann looks at the bag, looks back to Ert, and says, "Ert, you're good first draft."
Whatever you do, don't let go of the shit. Ert carefully closes the bag.
Okay. What happens if I let go?
Ert opens the bag.
All of the shit inside is rocketed out.
Are you pointing it at me? What you pointed at?
Ert is smart enough to point it up.
Okay. Oh, up. I put a sword in there, you genius.
There is now a sword impaled through the top of your tent.
Oh boy.
Terry takes a couple of notes and goes, "This is exactly why I did not want to put any of my things in it."
And this is exactly why I need a real one of these bags to work off of.
And this is why I put your things in there for you.
Both of you keep on going on about all this magical bullshit on this continent, and I need examples.
That's fair.
Terry, getting those examples would have been a lot better if we did not come as an invasion force.
Well, I don't think we qualify as that anymore. I don't think we're associated with the Empire anymore.
We are now a freelance road crew.
Yeah, I don't think the people of this nation really care until we can actually start making some noticeable improvement to this land on their behalf.
To be fair, road system, Ert's got that going.
Also, food. Clean, safe, plentiful food.
Everyone has been eating turkey legs for the past 3 days. Nobody had a rune other than summon turkey leg.
No, I got that figured out. You guys ready?
Okay.
Okay. Who here knows what an alchemy jug is?
Not familiar myself.
Terry?
Yes. Only because the one time I've seen it, someone summoned an entire gallon of mayonnaise.
How did you
It's
know?
always the mayonnaise. It's always the mayonnaise.
Ert has an alchemy jug. We have yet to establish what it makes, because it only makes one thing.
It only makes one thing?
Only makes one thing. Ert does not understand how it could make multiple.
So it's a very low grade.
So, wait, is this one that you've made or one that you found?
No, Ert made it himself. You know, he heard about these things. He took a crack.
You made it and you don't know what it makes?
Okay, 1d10.
Yep, roll 1d10.
Oh, we're testing it out for the first time. Oh,
It
no.
makes wine.
Hey, that works. It hydrates and it keeps morale up for the troops, you know?
I thought alcohol dehydrates you.
You can okay. If you set up the wine in a way that you evaporate the water and collect the water separately, and you leave behind the rest of the crop, because there's some water in wine. It's not pure alcohol, right?
Of
Well,
course.
Ert is confident that if required, he can make as many of these jugs of summoned wine as you guys, approve. Because you're in charge, not Ert.
Does anyone here want to test the wine?
Terry does not want to wine.
Zann respectfully asks Terry to test the wine anyway, as Terry has the most experience with wine, being a little more, being a political officer and having more of the,
Ert
political
just shoves you
experience.
out of the way, Zann.
Shoves me out of the way?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, Maury just shoves under
Terry
your
is
legs,
not
but
testing the wine.
Okay,
Oh,
fair
boy.
enough.
okay, Ert is offering free booze to the soldiers. He's got a gallon of this to go through.
Oh no.
The soldiers, of course, are enthusiastic to try out the wine. They take some of the wine, they give it a gulp, and they conclude that it's not great, but it's wine, so hey.
So it is real. Okay.
Ert's going to give you the whole lecture on magical food is real food,
Oh my
just
god.
not dirty. So we do need to talk about our movement. So did anything happen during our travels? Did we get a report or anything?
Oh yes, you got a report. Specifically, Zann received a report from the CRT. And speaking of the CRT, York seems to be approaching.
Hey York.
York gives you a grunt and a nod, and he says, Zann, how's things going over here?
Oh, just trying to keep Ert from exploding swords through people's foreheads. You know, the normal.
Right. Well, you got my note from a couple of days back, right?
Yeah, Farron had something for me.
Damn right she does. Probably better to head up over there and talk to her in person. But I just wanted to give you the lowdown in case, these two didn't get informed. And he gestures over towards Ert and Terry.
Zann waves Terry out of the tent and says, "Hey, you might want to listen to this."
Terry will come on out to listen, clipboard in hand.
Okay, York roughly shoves a soldier out of his place on a sitting log. The soldier complains bitterly about this.
Zann tells the soldier to shut up and deal with it.
And then York starts telling you a bit of a tale, because you see, you guys are heading southeast, and it turns out that the reserve force was here, but that all of the factions from the mainlands actually found the reserve force before it could, do any reserve forcing. So the thing is that it's currently encircled by multiple factions that all seem to want them to surrender, and they're trying to surrender, but the situation has gotten distressingly political. The unfortunate thing for all of us is because they found the reserve force, they set up a military cordon, and all of the factions have their own little piece of the front that they are, staking their soldiers on. So, in York's considered professional opinion, you need to make some sort of snafu so that someone has to recall their troops and make a hole in the line. Because, from what he can tell, everyone's really busy arguing over some random bullshit, and if you really want to get through without having a big slapdash fight that'll get a whole bunch of good soldiers killed, you're gonna want to use Terry's words in order to get something done.
Ert raises a hand.
Yeah, what's up?
What happened to their crystals?
Seized, apparently.
Those fucking idiots.
York shrugs and says, apparently it was part of the surrender terms. The biggest part of the politics seems to be who actually gets the crystal.
Well, yeah, the rest of them are just meat shields.
Heh. Well, regardless, that's what I gotta say about that, but I want to put one more thing on the table. Some of the local types, they are calling themselves the People's Militia or some shit. They don't seem like the most trustworthy folks, and all the factions, including the patrol, they don't seem to like these guys either. In fact, they're mostly at the table because they're loud and they can't be told to fuck off. I don't trust those guys, though. They seem really, really insistent they be let to have that crystal.
Sounds like men of science.
Heh.
Sounds like that might be the people we pin something on in order to get the front open.
I'm going to leave that to you. York gestures over at Zann and says, you remember to call for our help if you need anything, right?
Yep.
We'll lend a hand if you need it.
Sure.
Right. I'm going to head on back to my scouting duties. Remember to let Farron know if you have anything you want to talk to her about.
I did actually have something. If I recall correctly, I'm asking numbers, you as the DM. Farron had something specific that she wanted to talk to me about, yeah?
Correct. A side quest for you.
All right. I'll tell Ert and Terry that, hey, I'll be right back. I'm going to go chat up with Farron real quick. She might have something we want to check out. Ert, you might want to come because last I heard it was something about finding new technology or some sort of equipment sort of thing. You might be interested.
Ert is just sitting here thinking, he's been asking for people to pick up tech for ages. And follows Zann.
All right. So York walks around the encampment over toward the little area where the CRTs are denned up. Notably, it is the only part of the camp that actually seems camouflaged.
Yep. Those are my guys. That's my boy.
All right. So when you find the CRTs, they are doing the various drills. Pep seems to be trying and failing to catch a rabbit. Zara seems to be practicing her blood rage upon innocent training dummy. And Farron seems to be trying to modify her sword somehow. When she looks up and she sees Zann, she immediately perks up and says, "Ah, you're finally here. Are you here about the little thing that I wanted to ask you about?"
Yes. What do you got for me, Farron?
So, As you might know, I am a follower of Poros, and I know everyone tells me that I can't shut up about this, but the thing is that all of the island technology that I've seen so far has always been about runes. You know, runes in order to harness soul energy, in order to do magical things. But I think there's a hell of a lot more that you can do with physical equipment. And one of the things that we found out during our scouting expeditions was that there is a delegation from some sort of technologically advanced city here. So, what I would like to ask you to do is, if at all possible, you could get into the delegation's, area and find some of their tech so that I could, take a look at it, see if I can make something really interesting for you.
Sounds interesting enough. What's
Ert,
the
Ert is just all about this.
glad to have you on board, Ert. What's the name of the delegation?
Apparently they're from some sort of city called Frestiva.
Restava. Write that down.
You won't be able to miss them, I think. They were pretty distinctive.
Zann thanks Farron for the information and heads back towards Terry to ask if Terry knows anything about. It was Festiva, right?
Frestiva.
Frestiva.
Elf,
Festiva. Got it.
get the map out. We're going to Fresno.
In the meantime, as a little aside while all this is happening, Terry,
Yes.
your clipboard dings.
Oh, okay.
That's the message feature.
All right, when you switch over to the messaging function, you find that there is a message from your contact over in the Empire.
Ah, all right. What does he say?
He's giving you a situation report on how things have been going with regards to the mainland and the invasion. And it seems that overall things are not going well, like in any sense. Because you see, High Command, in a perhaps unsurprising move, has decided that ignorance is the better part of, actually making good decisions. And so they are blanket disregarding any reports that things might be going poorly. They are sending in a second invasion force that is 4 times the size of the previous one. And they are labeling everyone who landed on the mainlands and made up some random bullshit about how they were attacked with meteor strikes as traitors and cowards.
Well, then, I guess it's a good thing Terry has not actually sent official reports yet.
This might be the case, yes. Your contact does want you to know that apparently the troops being sent over for the second wave of the invasion are given standing orders that troops who arrived in the first wave are not to be trusted and are to be arrested if possible.
So that means that we can't even be spotted by our own home.
Correct.
Ert started to stare at you. He knew you got a message.
Yes. And you know that he's currently responding to his contact, thanking him for all the information and for, keeping this all hush hush off the record.
Your contact
Mhm.
says that he's willing to pass you more information, just so long as you don't blab about it.
Of course not.
Oh, he has one final bit of information for you, though.
What would that be?
There are some reports of refugees from islands under Empire control being picked up by random factions on the mainlands. He's not sure how much credence to give them, but one name did come up. Someone by the name of Kethlin.
Terry takes a second to respond and asks if they know what's going on with that one.
Unfortunately, all the reports are secondhand and littered with hearsay. What are you doing?
Of course.
Ert's trying to read over your shoulder.
Terry takes a step back.
Zann stands between Ert and Terry and says, give Terry his privacy. We'll hear about it in a second.
God.
So if everything is hearsay right now, does he have any leads on who or what picked this one up then?
According to your contact, it was not anyone from the major factions. It wasn't the Frestiva, Patrol, Cyrene, or or any of the other delegations. It was some local polity that managed to get their hands on her somehow.
Hmm. Can they do they know where this small town is?
They unfortunately don't. You're going to have to work with the information that you have on that one.
Of course. Is there anything else he needs to know before they get going?
Don't die.
Terry says he makes no promises.
And with that, do you return to reality?
He shuts the clipboard so it's no longer in message mode.
Yes, you close it like a book, fold it in half.
Fold the
No,
clipboard in
no.
half.
Have you not seen those metal ones that have a little compartment on the bottom that you just flip up the top half? Mm,
Yeah.
Ah,
mm.
fancy schmancy. Your clipboard is one heck of a multi-tool.
It's great for storing pens and pencils.
It's Swiss. It's a Swiss clipboard, you know.
All right, so with that, time for everyone to make some sort of plan of action.
Yep, Terry asks the other two to join him in the tent. He doesn't want, the masses to hear about this right now.
Guard starts looming ominously right on Zann's square, apparently.
Hey, buddy, back up just a little bit. You're guarding the entrance. You're not guarding my body.
Yes, sir. Totally guarding it, and then a wall of stone pops up, apparently.
Was that you?
Has infinite charges of mold earth.
Fair enough.
Terry, just right. All right, so I have a little intel. It's not on the official record, so we can't go spreading this through the camp.
Is our camp on official record?
Yes and no. As long as I never make an official report back to the mainland, technically none of us are deserters. We're all just missing in action.
Okay.
I'm not technically part of the army.
I mean, me neither.
You guys are included in this, unfortunately. For you see, anyone who came in during the first part of this invasion wave, if any of the second wave, which is coming at 4 times the size of this one, if they meet us, we are not to be trusted and we are to be arrested for treason.
Okay. Good thing we weren't planning on going back towards the Empire.
Doesn't know about this. He's got a pretty good lawyer through the Runesmith Guild.
Unfortunately, a lawyer may not help when the government that's against you is paying your lawyer.
I don't know. Is still just sort of self-assured that he's probably important enough. He'll get it. He'll get off with it.
Zann slightly rolls his eyes and then looks to Terry and says, "This sounds like information we might be able to use to our advantage when we're moving further south."
Yes, but at the same time, I don't want the entire camp to know. If the soldiers know this, I am pretty sure there are still a couple in here that are loyalists, and I feel like that might be a bad thing if they were to hear that they are now treasonous runaways.
That actually might make them more loyal to us instead of to the Empire, which might be a good thing. But I agree that we don't tell the camp yet. However, we're going to be heading towards various factions that are hostile to the Empire in an attempt to break through, right? We were trying to get past their lines and into the rest of the continent, find a place to settle down and just lay low for a bit. This piece of information might be a useful bartering tool when we are talking with those factions and trying to make a breakthrough somewhere.
Yes, something we can definitely use, but we shouldn't make it too much of a public knowledge. We're still technically a rather large faction now that we've taken 2 extra under our wing. So, to say that we are runaways from our original nation after everything that we've done, it may make more enemies than allies.
Has an idea.
What's your idea, Ert?
What we need to do is we need to contact the dwarves.
Which ones?
The dwarf king, like the king of the dwarves.
And just Terry, I need to disappoint you. There is. I need to disappoint you. There is no dwarf king.
Just looks at you and goes, "Okay, so they keep it secret here."
There is. It's just the dwarves here are going to sorely disappoint you.
Or will not hear this. He's just staring at you. He knows you're an elf. He knows you're full of shit.
Terry, we'll look to Zann and just. I feel we could tell people, but we shouldn't be telling everyone we meet, is my point.
Sure. Okay. But more reason for us to not head back north and to keep heading southeast.
Southeast, at least, yes. The further away from the shoreline, the better.
Agreed.
Erd is just left.
Sir? Sir?
It's like, okay, guys, get the camp ready. We're going somewhere.
All right. You give the order, and there's a flurry of activity as people throw off their nice warm blankets and start getting stuff ready.
Oh, what's the season right now?
It is currently springtime.
Okay. That's good for us. All right. Question for Ert and Terry. Is the pylon on or off today?
Yes, this is important.
Well, that depends. What are we doing?
So I like Farron's idea of trying to get some tech from Frestiva. And we don't want to start a huge fight when there are multiple factions on the border, right?
Well, where are these Frestiva people?
Oh, yes, Terry. Hey, what do you know about Frestiva?
Terry may roll a history.
Let's see, and level 2 gives me jack of all trades.
Hey, there we go.
5.
Ooh, yes.
Unfortunately, you only know it by the name. Apparently, it's a place that has a lot of technology in it. You could have guessed that.
Yeah. Would he have also known the general direction to at least travel?
South, you'd guess.
Okay. So Terry basically would just say, it's like, I only really know it by name, but from here, I know it's south.
Okay, let's go south.
Oh boy. But before we start things off, I need all the players to answer. Do we want the pylon on or off today? If it is turned on, you will no doubt gain a level. You might even gain 2 if you complete some side quests. If you have it on, you will regain all of the runic energy cost that you expended while traveling here.
Ert thinks we should put off this decision until the moment we've decided our approach. Like when we leave camp, Ert will make this decision.
Unfortunately, I do have to insist on us doing this before we get started.
I think that we should have it off, because our energy is already pretty high. So we can afford to keep it off for this session.
Ert says it should be on because he can make a bunch of those summon wine flasks.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Zann sides with Terry on this one for 2 reasons. One, because I think we are over half, but 2, if we're going to be going the diplomatic option but we come in with pylon on while we're trying to be diplomatic, that might, 1, draw some eyes because it's turned on and sucking energy, and 2, might make those eyes not super happy to see us because it might be they might take it as a threat that we're going to try to take their energy from them. So I think it's a good idea to have it off for this particular run.
Yeah,
Okay.
it may not be the best idea.
Ert just glares at you and lets you know that Katie hates you.
Terry just, I think I can live with that.
Zann looks back at Ert and says, Katie may hate me, but you love me, right, Ert?
Ert just stares at you. That's it.
All right. Joke's on you. Birds don't blink.
All right, so here we are on the regional map. Here is the protagonist squad, and you can see the surrendering relief force over here. It really does appear to be encircled, using the local geography and also a lot of military forces to the south and northeast. The CRT report does say, with a little bit of extra information, that the forces in the northeast appear to be undead.
Organized undead? Okay.
Yes, organized undead.
Where are these locals you're warned about?
There appears to be a squad of local militia to mostly the south. Those guys appear to have a nice force mustered on their part of the line, and they look not particularly pleased about, finding any intruders. However, if you wanted to go to the big nexus of where all the actual stuff is happening, there's a diplomatic camp set up right near the surrendering relief force.
All right. Um, I'd say so. Talking to Ert and Terry, I'd say that it's probably a good idea to have our squadron be outside. Not like don't bring our entire squadron in. Have them kind of on the edge, and then have like the three of us go in. And maybe we can bring some people in if we want, like a couple to back us up. But we probably don't want to march the entire squadron in.
I say we take at least 10.
Okay.
Okay. Ert wants the main force with the crystal to start moving towards somewhere and be ready to go. We just need to know which way.
Well, I mean, we're not going to be able to make a break through the line without some sort of distraction first. So I'd say, like, don't have them moving in that direction because we don't know where we're going to make the break
Okay,
until we
don't
talk to
don't
people.
pre-move them down south or anything. Just leave them where they are.
Yeah, if we pre-move south, they're going to the local militia is already antsy, right? And they might run into them before we actually make a breakthrough. That might cause some problems.
Okay. Ert will settle for going to the diplomatic tangle and looking for the dwarf representative.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, sure.
Judging by the lists here that I'm seeing on the map, Ert's going to be a little disappointed.
Okay. So, you head over to the diplomatic camp. One moment, please. Oh, your health is not full.
My shoulder's fucked up.
Did we rest?
Yes, you did rest. Between each session, you do get enough rest to recover to full HP. All right, and you're bringing a few of your squadron soldiers with you, right?
Yeah, you said 10 is what you wanted?
Yeah, I would say 10, but we don't need to put all 10 tokens if you don't want to right now.
I put them in a bush.
It's like the Trojan horse, but it's a bush.
No, Ert's just gonna mold Earth a wall in front of them.
Like a moving wall?
Just a wall.
Yep. So both of those tokens are going to be just random things, just random five soldier, groups of people, and they're going to be at your command, and they're currently squatting all in the same bush.
Bush squatters. Okay.
All right. As you start approaching the diplomatic tangle, though, you are in fact waylaid by someone from up above.
Oh.
She looks familiar, as though you've seen her on the battlefield, and she just goes, "Okay, stop."
Terry does so, both hands up, just to show no weapons.
All right, so this whole area is in lockdown. I'm gonna need some identification from all of you.
Ert.
Ert?
Ert.
Zann. Oh, that's his. Yeah. This guy's Ert. I'm Zann. And then I point towards Terry. This is Terry. Terry is our diplomat, if you will. Terry, if you would.
And just Terry nods and just goes and says, "Thank you for introducing me on my behalf, I guess."
All right.
And then looks to Ellie and just going, "Yes, we are currently refugees trying to just find our way through."
Refugees, huh? Well, we got a lot of those in the area. She steps forward. She does take a moment to take the cat that was perched on her head and set it down on the ground, where it begins to meow and start following her around. She walks up to Terry and says, "My name's Ellie Dawnblade. I'm with the patrol, and also loosely with Cyrene, but don't worry about that." She holds out a hand as if for a handshake.
Terry will respond in kind.
All right. She shakes your hand,
Terry
and her
dies.
eyes go a little wider, and her ears perk up. And for some reason, you get the sense that she's very amused.
Terry raises an eyebrow at this, but won't mention it.
Urt just nudges Zann and goes, "Elf mating rituals are weird."
Zann looks down at Urt and says, I bet you dwarf ones are even weirder.
Oh
That
yeah.
causes Terry to sputter and look down to the dwarf and just, that is not what that is.
Ellie seems even more amused. You notice that her ears are twitching.
See, they can't help themselves.
Okay, Urt. Let's dial it back just a little bit.
Ellie looks around to everyone and she says, "So, what's your story?"
Just, Terry, is there any way we can talk about it amongst the others?
Sure, the delegation is up on the ridge, but I'm just curious for my own purposes.
Well, we're on the run from multiple alliances, I guess you could call them.
Primarily from the Empire, Zann butts in a little bit. Running away from.
Yeah. Due to the a rather unsavory government.
Ellie gives a nod and says, "Everything that I've heard about that thing doesn't incline me to love it either."
Urt chimes in, "It's all humans. It's weird."
Ellie's ears twitch again.
And Terry just, yes, within the Empire, anybody who's non-human usually came from a conquered land.
Except the dwarves.
Buying your land is the same as conquering it.
No, we came. The dwarves came on the boat. That's why he's the boat murderer.
My God.
Urt claims descendants from the original murderers of the boat murderers.
Terry just gonna shake his head.
I hope that was out of character.
What? No, Urt blurted that right out.
Of course he did.
Ellie waves a hand and says, "I don't need the entire story, but I appreciate it. My advice to you is everyone on this particular guard duty is a little bit jumpy. They're going to require some actual hard identification unless you do something really clever." For some reason, her eyes are on Terry when she says that.
Just Terry just nods and just, of course.
Urt raises a hammer.
Did you have something to add?
I believe I'm the best expert on the continent in runic magic.
Terry just tells Ellie that you can ignore him.
Ellie says, "I see why you do."
Zann gets ready to hold Urt back just in case Urt tries to do something stupid.
Urt thinks this is a perfectly valid point. I mean, he just pointed out he is the best expert to be at this delegation.
It just
Well,
it's not exactly a runic delegation.
This isn't RuneCon, okay?
Look, no one cares about the soldiers. The pylons are the only thing here that matters. Now, where are they?
Ellie narrows her eyes a bit and says, you could stand to be a little bit more subtle."
Subtles for elves.
Uh-huh. So I take it that you're some sort of civic engineer who's figuring out a way to put the pylons to good use?
Zann places a hand on Urt's shoulder and says, we are not actually... This one is very interested in the pylons, but the rest of us are not nearly as interested in the pylons. We're more interested in getting to safety and getting our folks to safety with us.
Terry asks Ellie if there happens to be a babysitting service for people like Urt. You can't tell if it's a joke or not.
Ellie says that there might in fact be 10 armed people willing to form up a squadron of guards. They might be nearby even.
And just Terry, I was thinking more handing him a couple of little cantrips and some rocks.
Urt puts up another wall.
Ellie compliments Urt on his surpassing subtlety.
Zann looks to Urt, looks to Ellie, looks back to Urt, and says, "You really got to learn how to take a hint, man. Go ahead and join the others for this one, I think."
Ellie just watches as Urt sulks off, and then she says, "Well, this is going to be interesting at least. I'm going to head back up to the delegation soon."
Are we allowed to join you?
Absolutely. This is the place where everyone gets to voice their opinions, come hell or high water.
Leans out. Even me.
Yes, even you. Unfortunately, we have encountered people who are even louder than you.
Oh,
Perks up.
Zann shudders a little bit instinctively. His feathers kind of stick out around his head a little bit.
Terry gets a bit of an idea and looks to Ellie and goes, "Do you? Is it people of all kinds at the delegation, is what you said?
Yes,
Does that include more dwarves?"
there is one dwarf with the Grammarian delegation.
Terry seems to perk up at this. He remembers what he said earlier, that Ert would be very disappointed in the dwarves on this mainland. And he goes, yes, Ert, why don't you join us? Oh, and there he goes.
Zann looks to Terry and says, "You know this is a ticking time bomb, right?"
Terry just, yes, but I'm hoping we can use this as a bit of a pity card, as we have to watch over that man.
As long as he doesn't get us in trouble.
Terry looks over to Ellie and then back to Zann and then just, I feel like they would understand.
Kurt, you don't need to make a staircase. There's a ramp.
Oh no.
Making the shortest route.
Ert is leaving you guys behind.
Zann looks over to Ellie and asks, "Do I need to put a leash on him, or is he gonna be okay?"
Ellie says, I wouldn't miss what he gets up to for the world.
Then
Let's
let
go
us
join
follow
him.
him. We'll even use his lovely new stairs.
The cat has been following Ert the entire time.
Ert just comes up and then he just stares at the horses and is like, "The fuck?"
The horses
Terry,
look back at you and whinny in indignation.
Terry follows from behind and goes, "That Ert is called a horse.
Which delegation are they from?
They're an animal."
Oh no. I didn't know that Ert didn't know what a horse was.
You don't
Oh,
see many
no.
underground.
Oh no.
It's an animal, like moles, except instead of being creatures that dig, these are creatures that run.
Okay, as all this is happening, as the explanation is proceeding, there is a sudden shout from over at the bonfire. Someone rushes over, and a crossbow bolt whizzes overhead,
Over whose head?
over Ert's head.
Okay.
The horses are spooked, and there is rather a commotion as everyone has to coordinate in order to keep things from getting even worse.
Who shot? So the dog shot the crossbow?
Yes, Burno the dog.
I don't know his name yet, but
Ert believes this is how you communicate, and he's getting ready to shoot his hammer over the dog's head.
Terry's gonna stop him, just like, no, 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 no. And he just gently lower his crossbow. Just, no, that's not how it's done.
Burno is desperately justifying his actions to everyone else there who's calling him an asshole. Burno is insisting at great length that they can't trust anyone. These might be intruders. They might be after the pylon.
Ert perks up.
Zann quickly puts a hand on Ert's shoulder and says, "Don't you say a damn thing."
And just Terry will look to the group with his hands up again and just goes, sorry, we should have come up the normal way, but our small friend here decided to build stairs and they were very convenient.
Ert is just glaring daggers at Terry for calling him small. I weigh more than you, elf.
There is a screeching voice that says, would you meatbags get back onto the topic at hand?
I'm mostly bone anyway. I mean,
If it's all right, Miss Ellie Dawnblade invited us to come join the conversation. Is that all right?
Yes, whatever. Get in here already.
Terry walks past the spooked horses, looks to Burno, and is just like, apologies. So, are you gonna handle the horses?
Burno glares at you and says, "Fine, if you insist." He notably does not seem friendly towards you at all.
Zann walks by and says, "Good dog."
Burno growls at you. Meanwhile, the Tengu next to him rests an arm on Burno's shoulder and starts laughing. Burno looks like he's about to fucking explode.
Zann looks behind him and looks for Urt and says, "Hey, Urt, stick together."
Urt's trying to pick up one of the horses.
Do
Does he
not
get
pick
kicked in
up
the head?
the horse.
Like, lifted into the air? Why?
I mean, he's got one leg. He's trying to pick it up. It's not
Zann
working.
Zann looks over to Urt and says, "Urt, you remember when your shoulder got dislocated yesterday?"
Urt puts the horse down.
Okay, so you come into the little fire circle, and you are gestured around to a good spot for you all to stand. And the discussion that is currently happening resumes. The main thrust of it seems to be that Dorlock Shadowcaller here, who is very obviously a lich holding a necromantic staff faced like a skull, is ranting and raving that all of these captured soldiers from this heretical empire should be purged with fire. And Burno is objecting that this would be a waste of resources, and anyway, he should be in charge of this entire operation because this is his land. Or rather, it's, his organization's land.
And what organization is that?
Burno straightens up and says that this land belongs to the Border Alliance National Defense Initiative Treaty.
Border Alliance, National Defense, Band-Aid? No, Bandit.
Oh, I couldn't figure it out.
It's just Terry jots that down and looks at the acronym and just right.
Burno looks at you with an extremely hostile expression and says,
Mm.
"What? Do you think it's funny?"
Terry,
Then-
if I thought it was funny, I would have laughed.
Dorlock Shadowcaller uses this gap in the conversation to once again screech for the death of everyone from Enikos.
It just Terry, and why?
Dorlock looks to you with an expression that can best be conveyed by the words, "Are you an idiot?" And then he launches into a rant, saying that these infernal pylon crystal things that all the soldiers are carrying with them are devastating the local soul ecology. They're killing ghosts by hundreds, if not thousands, and the area will not recover for generations to come. And also, all of the ghosts that back this undead alliance want all these pylons to be destroyed as soon as physically possible, and everyone who even knows a thing about them to be hung up and quartered.
Terry just very bluntly says, "Oh, I completely agree that these pylons are absolutely atrocious."
Dorlock seems taken aback.
Zann is making a point to rest a really heavy hand on Urt's shoulder during the whole pylon conversation.
Urt really wants to hear that bit about the local ghosts being devastated by the pylons' mere presence, because that would explain why we're not losing charge.
I'm assuming Urt did not say that out loud because Zann
Oh
is
no,
keeping
no.
him from saying it.
Urt is rather aware that will be fighting words.
Okay. And Terry yes, it is an absolutely atrocious thing that the nation had come to rely on. Unfortunately, there are plenty of people, as such as myself, who is against it, that, at least within the Empire, was forced to rely on it. Back in the Empire, it was not as horrific for the ecology, because they found a way around that.
Urt hears Terry say "back in the Empire" and just face palms.
Zann
Does
also
anybody?
palms.
No. It'll be okay, especially if somebody wants to back me up with an assist.
This is a persuasion check for Terry.
Oh, okay. I can, yeah.
because it'll let me roll at an advantage if maybe Zann wants to pipe up because he's not really part of the Empire.
Sure. Yeah,
Mhm.
Zan seconds the whole Empire kind of sucks. Like, hey, they hired me on. Yeah, I thought, hey, I need to make some coin. I'll make some money here. Got 3 of my 8 guys killed right away. And left me to rot. I'm no friend of the Empire.
Or just chimes up with fucking humans.
And I don't know. No, there's one human in the group.
Is that the
The captain.
it's
But
the
he's
guy
not listening.
that's surrendering? Is that the guy that's surrendering?
Nope.
Oh, he's different. Okay.
All right, persuasion with advantage.
Yep.
Oh, nat 20.
Oh, good roll.
So, considering your position on all these things, considering that you seem to have some personal history with all this, maybe you can help them come to a decision about what to do with all these surrendering soldiers. Burno immediately uses the opportunity to insist that the Border Alliance National Defense Initiative Treaty should be entrusted with the well-being of the soldiers. They are well known for their humanitarian efforts. Everyone else rolls their eyes.
Terry just. Well, with this delegation, I can safely assume anything I say will be spread to the rest of your factions, correct?
Everyone gives a confirmation that yes, they are going to have to file reports over this. Loads and loads of reports.
Even if I were to mention that some of this stuff should remain off record.
There's a little bit of hesitation about that. Ellie Dawnblade stands up on a little camp stool and says, if we need to speak off the record, then I suggest we do so. We haven't gotten to any conclusions by doing everything on the record, so let's exercise our minds a little, shall we? This is more or less accepted.
While this is happening, Zan's trying to figure out who here belongs to the Frostova delegation. He's not like asking verbally, he's just trying to look and figure out. He wants to figure out who's part of that delegation. Still doing the
Roll
work.
me an insight.
Insight. That's this button. All right. 21.
Well, who might be on the rest of a delegation? It might be the actual little robot, or it might be the guy who's carrying around basically an entire apothecary's worth of alchemical supplies.
I didn't realize that guy was a robot. That worked. I'm glad I know that now. Zan stands close to the robot for the rest of the meeting.
Okay, and what the hell was doing?
Having trouble with the drawing tools. Ignore me.
Terry just thanks Ellie and mentions that he has it on good word that pretty much all of the soldiers are considered deserters by now.
There are winces from all around the fire circle, except for Burno and Dorhalak. Dorhalak uses the opportunity to once again advocate for everyone's death.
Terry ignores Dorlock. And he mentions that, if anything, it might be beneficial to show those who are willing to adjust to the world here on the mainland a little bit of sympathy.
Erd is about to chime up. You guys better be ready for this.
Zan
boy.
is
Honestly, you
giving
need to
her-
get used to this shit because the Empire's population is about. And you guys can interrupt before he says this, but he's about to tell him the population of the Empire is about 15 million.
Zan
Yeah.
is giving Ert the eyes again, and just like the same eyes that he had when he got Ert to shut up about the whole pylon thing earlier, giving him the same exact look.
Yeah, if we knew what their population was and if it was really big, yeah.
Meanwhile, Ert has apparently set up some sort of magnifying glass.
What is that?
Yeah, the color keeps changing every time you start a new line. But it's a magnifying glass.
So yeah, Terry has mentioned that maybe we could show everyone a little bit of sympathy. And if you're willing to collaborate with those who do want to integrate to the societies within the mainlands, we might be able to teach you more about this empire.
The
Ert
dwarf in
raises
the
a
group.
hand.
Go ahead.
I can show you what a pylon can really do.
Oh
Harry
my god.
immediately says no.
Oh, Zann looks to Terry and kind of mutters under his breath, "We should have left him with the soldiers."
Did I get a response from the robot?
The robot is now looking at intently.
Through the
You said that
magnifying glass.
You almost
You-
look normal sized.
You said the
Oh.
dwarf raised his hand?
The dwarf raises a tankard and says, "Actually, on that point,
Yes.
we have some standing foreign policy for people who try to sail in from foreign waters and lay claim to Vigan territory. Unfortunately, there are some legal loopholes that need to be gone through for anyone who's even a refugee of that kind of society. There's a lot of vetting, there's a lot of paperwork. We have to go through all their possessions and see if they've discovered anything particularly horrific. Notably, like, the pylons would definitely qualify. And, of course, at the end of a maybe 10-year process, they could be considered for full citizenship. That's grammarian work, though."
Ert nods sagely. This sounds like actually pretty good for bureaucracy.
Of course.
And of the other nations?
Gravel Stone Deep shakes his head and says, "A lot of them have rather severe ways of looking at that sort of thing. The patrol is the most lenient, but if you wanna look at how people who are way off the deep end do it, there's a rustling behind the tree, and a tall, imposing human man with a sword comes through, and Gravel trails off.
How tall is this tall, imposing human man?
He is about 8 feet tall.
Holy. Okay.
Harry notices this and looks to Gravel and goes, "Did something happen? You were just about to finish that sentence, weren't you?"
May I introduce my esteemed colleague from the Cyrenay delegations, Captain Ezark. Ezark just grunts, and for some reason he's looking at Ert.
An 8-foot tall human. Interesting.
Zann looks to Ert and looks back to the Captain Azark and says, "Can we help you with something?"
The captain says, "I'm here representing Cyrenay interests. The Cyrenay force has largely accomplished its military task unless there's a secondary force coming in. So our diplomatic interests in this particular business are minimal. And I would ask," and he pokes a finger directly onto the top of Gravel Stone Deep's head, "that we not be involved in whatever petty politics you guys are trying to do."
And just Terry, just as of right now, I'm just inquiring about how to go about gaining citizenship for my people who do not want to be part of the Empire.
Captain Ezark shakes his head and says, "Anyone even remotely associated with the Empire is not going to be welcome in Cyrenay, especially non-humans."
DM, what compass direction is Cyrenay from where we are?
It is far, far to the southeast.
Okay. So we're not in any danger of accidentally running into it anytime soon.
No.
Okay, good.
So, any further commentary to Captain Ezark?
Ert just ignores him. He's just the flunky. The dwarf's in charge.
Terry just
Oh boy.
Terry just unfortunately, he says that he finds that very sad, unfortunately.
Captain Ezark just grunts and says, "If that will be all."
Well, it would be all concerning your nation, yes.
He grunts again, and then goes back to his post. Apparently, he's watching over the surrendered relief forces. Gravel
Ert's
shakes his head and
gonna
says,
wander after him, actually.
"Oh boy!"
Zann follows Ert from a distance, and if Ert gets into any trouble, Zann will butt in to help.
So Ert's gonna come over here and start going on about, the logistic problem of all these soldiers here. What you really need is a road.
Captain Ezark looks to Urt, completely unamused.
And Urt just sits there and just keeps talking to him about the civil engineering challenge of getting all those soldiers out of there. Good luck, guys.
Oh, if that's all he's going to talk about, that's kind of harmless.
Yeah, Zann makes his way back and stands by the robot again, still eyeballing him for any sorts of tech pieces that Farron might want. Not making a move on anything, just looking.
Right.
Okay. Zann, if you would like, go ahead and roll a perception. And then Terry?
Terry's going to ask about other nations as well, since Gravel kind of spoke for everyone. He would actually like to hear from the factions themselves.
All right.
Got a weak 9 on that perception.
Zann, unfortunately, you are not able to get a very stealthy look into anything. You can push your luck, but that will require a stealth check.
We'll hold off for now.
Okay, so the other nations all speak up. Larkin, this Tengu here, speaks up on behalf of Frestava, saying that the Frestavan interest is they really want to figure out how these strange pylons work, because this is completely new technology, and that sort of thing doesn't come along just every day. And even if they are horribly destructive things that devastate the local ecology, there is still worth in figuring out how exactly they work. Dorlock Shadowcaller, speaking on behalf of sort of undead coalition, says that Larkin is, well, several unkind things, and calls for the death of everyone associated with the Empire of Enikos once again. He seems to be a bit one note on that.
And I'm sure everyone is tired of hearing it.
Oh yes, Ellie was not kidding when she said that there were louder people than Urt. Burno, for his part, speaking for the Border Alliance National Defense Initiative Treaty, says that they have a right, an absolute right, to seize these people and put them under arrest, and also to take all these dangerous tools and have them humanely dismantled. Of course. He says this with an honest face, an open heart, and nobody's buying even a moment of it. Everyone's
A
basically just ignoring him.
large pocketbook.
Urt heard that. And Urt's response is, how are you going to dispose of a rune?
Burno says that he would find many ways of disposing of runes. For example, breaking them as to release their magical energy, or passing them off into someone's care so that they may be safely stored for a future date.
Terry, just so you would sell them.
Burno says that he would absolutely not sell them. He would have them stored.
For money.
Urt needs to back you up there a second. So the thing is, you put enough of these runes together, and, well, there's a lot of bad things that can happen.
Burno looks to Urt and says, "What? Are you a rune expert?"
Zann just groans really, really loudly.
Terry also groans.
Like, I'm just saying, there's a lot of magic
And
and
just
souls.
tells Burno. He just tells Burno that he brought this upon himself.
You had to ask the dwarf if he was a rune expert.
So if allowed, Urt is just going to sit there and start listing all the horrible things that will happen if you screw around with runes, because he's tried them.
I'm actually going to let him start talking like that and
Oh, yeah.
whisper to the robot when Urt's done, or while Urt's talking.
What do you say?
I say, you guys are interested in technology. I'm interested in technology as well. We are interested in technology as well. How about a little trade? I'll let you pick that dwarf's brain for some information, not literally, figuratively, if you let us take a look at some of your gadgets.
Unit Rho tilts its head and says, "Yes, our brain uploading procedures are currently drastically underdeveloped."
All right, as long as you don't hurt or kill the guy, I would be more than happy to do an exchange here of information.
We are willing to come to an accord. Please, direct me when it is a good time to speak on these matters.
All right, sounds good. Letting Urt keep going with Burno.
Yeah, Urt is now standing up on a soapbox, It's like,
Oh,
look,
no.
look. So if you
Who brought
have
a soapbox?
yeah, well, he fabricated one, obviously.
Okay.
Mold Earth.
Old Earth
Moldy-
himself a little soapbox is handed. Now, the important thing is, if you have over 50 soul yield runes in the same place, it starts to animate objects around you, and unless you've ever had a, bathrobe try to kill you, it's not pleasant.
While this is going on, Terry has slowly made his way over to the campfire so everyone can at least find a comfy place to sit while they talk.
Ellie looks over to Terry and says, "This is the best day of my life."
What group was she with again?
She is with the patrol.
The patrol. Okay.
Terry does ask Ellie and anybody else who might be Asphalt Patrol. It's like he hasn't heard from them yet. What's their procedures with refugees?
Ellie waves a hand and says that the patrol's stance on refugees is far, far more lenient than other societies. But the thing is that the patrol is not a government per se. If a bunch of refugees come in, the patrol might offer some assistance if they are well behaved and not causing a lot of ecological damage, for instance. However, they also do not have direct control over the landscape or over people's neighbors. And so, if some refugees were to come in, unfortunately the onus would be on the refugees in order to find a good spot to settle down. But the patrol would be obligated not to interfere.
What part of the map do the patrol live in?
This part,
Okay, so we're in their territory.
The undeclared lands.
yep,
Okay.
basically anywhere that isn't part of an established nation is part of the patrol's beat.
Okay, and so Burno is essentially full of crap when he says that this is his land. sort of thing.
Yeah, nobody seems to be taking him at all seriously.
Okay. Is he part of the local militia, or is that a separate entity from the bandit? I mean,
He is part of the local militia, and he
Okay.
is absolutely steadfast that these local militia folks, they are freedom fighters who are fighting to protect all of Vigas.
I see.
Okay, so where are we at event-wise? What do we want to do next?
Oh, has the diplomatic talk come to a conclusion?
Well, we need to sort of figure out what we're going to do with the diplomatic talk at this point.
Sure. I'm pushing more towards like, hey, the patrol seems more amiable, and so do the Frostovans,
Kristavians.
Frostavians, Fristovani, Frustovish. So I'm saying like kind of lean into that a little bit, and get passage through that way. Also, Zann really wants Ert and Unit Row to make that exchange.
Meanwhile, I'm going to have just for funsies, roll me an intelligence saving throw.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
You have to dispense a lot of knowledge about runes.
That's actually pretty good.
So, as all this proceeds, and is detailing all of this stuff about rune magic and the hazards thereof, Burno looks like he is overheating in the upstairs department. There might be smoke coming out of his ears. That's probably the fire behind him, but you know.
And then Urt just segues. And let me tell you, you should see what these things will do to the undead.
Oh no.
At which point, Dorlock looks over to you with an expression of absolute fury.
Can undead make facial expressions?
This one can. It apparently still has eyelids.
Oh, wonderful. Zann, when he hears the segue, Zann quickly calls Ert over, calls Ert over, says, "Hey, Ert, hate to interrupt, but this here fine gentleman, robot man, would like to have a word with you about pylons."
I would like to have a word with about pylons.
And Zann looks at the bone guy and says, "Too bad, you're not invited. Piss off."
Dorlock screeches in rage, takes a step forward. For some reason, all of your eyes go to the strange cat, and Dorlock face plants directly into a barrel and gets stuck.
Good. Now stay there for a little bit.
Urt raises a hand. It's like, I did that.
Of course you did, Ert.
Dorlock promises horrific death and destruction to you and your entire family.
I don't have a family.
So, Ert and Unit Row, do you want to head off to the side in order to have some nerdy talks?
Yeah, but that's going to raise serious eyebrows.
Well, just have them. What do you mean by raise eyebrows?
There are several people out there that do not want any tech transfer at all to happen.
Well, that's me and Terry will kind of wall you off a little bit.
Okay, we're gonna head out of the we're gonna head out of the park here, the little encampment. We're gonna go south.
All right, Terry, do you want to raise a smoke screen for Ert's escape?
At this point, he's gonna have to.
Well, the thing we need to think about is we have our guys, but we need to sort of make sure that something not terrible happens to the surrounded people too.
Hmm.
Like if
Do
these
we?
undead guys get their way, they're just gonna kill them all. And if the bandits get their way, that might moderately be better, but that's not good.
Slavery.
Bandits, the Border Alliance National Defense Initiative Treaty. Why does everyone keep calling them bandits?
They just. If that's in character, Terry's gonna tell them to look at the acronym.
Burno says that he never understood acronyms.
Burno is not literate.
Take the first letter of every word.
Zann loudly mentions to Terry that dogs don't know how to read.
Burno
Ooh.
starts snarling in rage.
Zann stares unblinkingly at Burno and just says, "Sit." I wish I had a rune of command, but I don't.
Okay, I'm just gonna put this on the table. Terry, remember your hooks?
Uh-huh.
Would you like to intimidate Burno?
I don't have a good hook for that right now.
No, this is to create a
create-
hook.
You
It's to
can't
create
reveal
a
that
hook.
he is secretly a bad dog.
True. Let's do it.
Roll me an intimidation, and Zann can assist you.
Ooh,
Okay.
yes. Zann is all on board.
Oh, 20 for intimidate. Burno, against his will, sits down. And he
Tail.
looks incredibly confused and alarmed. For some reason, you get the impression that Ellie is laughing, although she is not making any noise.
Zann clocks this and just nods at Ellie.
Ellie gives you a thumbs up.
I like her.
Bruno of the Border
Yeah,
Alliance.
write that whole thing out. Border Alliance
I
National
am.
Defense Initiative Treaty. It's just like the CRT Squad.
I know, right?
And 11?
Yep.
Save. All right. He's been added to my hooks.
Okay, so Burno is going to have a bad day in the future. We'll see if we can get to that. Meanwhile, Ert and Unit Row. Unit Row is very, very interested in all the things that runic magic can do.
Erd is just going on. And at this point, he's talking about the slime farms.
Oh my god. Ert, I will have you roll an investigation check.
Zann was wanting to remind Ert on his way out to remember to get something physical from him, like an actual
Erd pauses
trinket.
halfway through describing the slime farms, like, "Holy shit, you're a robot!"
Unit Row looks down to him and says, "Yes, I am referred to by this designation. I am also referred to as Unit Row."
Ert starts reaching for the small, personal-sized crystal he carries.
Why?
Now, are robots like a ghost possessing something?
Oh no.
Don't you dare.
Unit Row looks to Ert curiously and says, "All living beings possess a soul. There are particular mechanical constructs that have souls imposed onto them. These are called MK units. I am not this kind of unit. I am a mechanical intelligence that has gradually developed an intelligence and soul."
Ert pulls out the soul crystal and just turns on the gathering range to a meter.
Oh no!
No!
Kill the delegation.
Unit Row looks to the crystal curiously and says, "What is your intention in doing this?"
It's like, holy shit, you don't have a soul.
This is incorrect.
Well, it's nailed down pretty good then.
Yes, all souls contained within physical bodies are difficult to remove. This is why the other delegate, Nemai, wears the armor that he does.
And Urch just sitting there moving the crystal back and forth, going, is your soul going to come out? Is it going to come out?
Unit Row advises you that this might be unwise. It could also be seen as undiplomatic.
Urt is very ashamed. Can I have one of your arms?
Unit Row considers this and says, "I would accept this in trade, provided you supply me with significantly more information than you have provided thus."
Oh, okay. Well, just take your head then, and you can come with us.
I would find this to be inconvenient.
Well, that's okay. I'll have to carry you.
I would offer a different course of actions.
You're not gonna get your lollipop chainsaw moment. Stop asking.
Urch is sitting here, and all he can think is, does this guy just want me to talk about runes with him?
Unit Row pulls out something from his pack. It appears to be a book with blank pages, and he says, "If you could write down a great deal more information on the practice of runecraft into this novel, then I would appreciate it."
Urt suddenly onto this guy. He's not after science. He's after his secrets, his dwarven secrets.
Oh no!
Clearly.
So Urt's like, "What's in it for me, man? That's a lot of writing."
In exchange for this service, I would be willing to donate one of my arms so that you may examine it and possibly reverse engineer it. However, I will require it back in the fullness of time.
Nah, screw that. I want every magical item you got from uncommon and below.
Unit Row considers this and then says, "This is your desire?"
Urt pulls out his bag of holding.
Oh no!
Unit Row looks to it and says, "You appear to have run afoul of a very faulty manufacturer."
Urt just glares at him.
"I am sensing hostility. Have I said something out of turn?"
Urt just like, he's a robot. I can't even be properly angry at him. Just like, yes, come on. All your items, all the magic items in the bag.
Is this a robbery?
It is now.
Oh my god. Unit Row says, "I would be willing to forfeit all of these. However, I will insist that you put down at least some information into the book that I have given you."
Okay, Urt just hands him the stretchy bag and takes the book and says, "Get gathering."
Unit Row proceeds to get gathering. Unit Row does not have to return to his tent. He appears to have a bag of holding on him, and he is just transferring items from one bag to the other bag.
Oh.
I didn't mean all yours. I meant all the ones in camp. Get going.
What?
I do not have possession of the items in camp.
That's why it's called borrowing.
I would regard this as a theft. I would recommend against this course of action.
So Urt is at an impasse here with the robot. So at this point,
This robot has more morals than Urt does.
obviously.
At what point does Zann get worried for Urt's well-being, having not returned, and goes off wandering off to find him?
So for the record, Urt now has this journal now that he has his deal, and he's just going to be writing in this constantly forever.
Oh boy.
The Festivus guys got a great deal on this.
Well, Unit Row provides you with a selection of common and uncommon magical items. He does not provide you with his hand or his head,
Dang.
but he still considers this to be a decent deal. The only problem is that now your faulty bag of holding appears to be roughly the size of a cow.
Oh, wow, that's a lot of items. Oh, shoot.
Yeah, Erd is just. He thought he was going to come out today with a bag of holding at most.
Does
You don't put a bag of holding in a bag of holding.
with
Erd doesn't know that.
Oh no. With a passive perception, what is my passive perception? 16. Do I notice this giant cow-sized bag looming over the wagon?
Yes, you do.
Zann wanders over there to see what's going on and see if everything's about to explode or not.
Unit Row looks to Ert while still holding this bag of holding. Unit Row turns around very briefly to acknowledge Zann and then says, I am not sure how to give this into your care. However, it is now your problem.
Zann acknowledges that. Thanks,
No.
Unit Row. Oh,
Is Ro holding the bag?
Yes, Row is holding the bag and holding it
Don't
closed
take it
at
from
the
him.
moment.
why not?
He's fucked.
This is our friend, Ert.
Yeah, well, we have a permanent bag carrier now.
That's not how this works.
Erd is just very proud. He has tricked the robot into holding the bag. If he lets go, it explodes magic items everywhere.
Okay.
Unit Row then proceeds to say, I have engineered a solution to this particular problem.
Thank you, Ro. What would that solution be?
Ert, what's your AC?
Oh no.
17.
Oh,
That's a
God.
net one.
All right. Unit Row moves to place the bag on top of Ert, and then his grip slips, and everyone is sent flying by a flood of magic items.
Oh god, I don't think Terry's going to be able to gloss this one over.
So,
Oh no.
Yeah, no, Terry can very easily gloss this one over, but I'm waiting to see if it hits everyone and not just you three.
Ert and Zann may both roll acrobatics or athletics checks in order to not take tumbling damage.
I got a nat 20. Acrobatics rather. 26 total.
Oh boy, let's have Ert.
Can Zann try to catch some of the items as they explode since he got a nat 20?
I will allow Zann to catch some of the magic items as they explode.
All right.
Ert, that is just above what I had set, so good for you. You managed to not take any damage.
How's Unit Row?
Unit Row appears almost completely unharmed, and then stands up and looks to everyone and says, apologies for the interruption. Meanwhile, everyone is just staring, and Gravel just says, what in the fuck was that?
Zann looks over to Gravel and says, that's what happens when Ert messes with robots. We're sorry. I'll clean this up real fast.
Gravel just grunts and says, best be quick. Dorlock's almost got his head out of the barrel.
Zann starts collecting the items and holds them on his person, as many as he can, and then gives the rest to Ert and specifically says, do not put these in that bag.
While all this is happening, Zann and or Ert may roll me perception.
I'll do a perception check.
While all that was going down, this was going to be me saying that Terry was talking to everybody about trying to find a way they can at least help their troops and the ones that they've captured with getting through that big border check. Because at this point, none of us are looking for a fight. We're just looking to try and find a new place that we can call home where the Empire won't arrest us and kill us all for treason.
And this is something that some of the people here actually have sympathy for. Larkin and Gravel bat around some ideas. Ellie Dawnblade offers a commentary every now and then. And meanwhile, something secret happens.
Wow, something secret really happened.
I know, right?
Between those two?
No, it was Burno.
Hey, no metagaming. Only Ellie's allowed to do that.
Didn't I see? I'm freaking right here. I got big eyes. This is a stealth check. That's fine.
Okay, so Ert and Zann gather up some of the magic items. It seems to be, a small enough load that you can comfortably carry it, although maybe better not to have it just lying around.
What do you mean by lying around?
Well, if you have to carry a double armful of magical equipment when you're sitting at a diplomatic talk, that might be considered a faux pas.
Ert starts just throwing everything in this cart right here that's part of the wall.
Zann says, we're not taking that cart. However, you can mold Earth a cart, and we can use that instead.
Ert really feels that it's a lot easier if there's wheels involved, and who's going to care? Like, who owns this cart? Ert turns around. Hey, whose cart?
Unit Row says that this cart belongs to the accessing databanks for just a moment. Border Alliance National Defense Initiative Treaty, and they have said that it is sovereign property.
Zann quickly changes his mind and says, yes, we can take the cart.
Okay, let's take the cart.
What?
Screw that guy.
Screw that guy. What's he gonna do about it? Bark?
Ert and Zann, roll me an athletics check.
Was that for our high five?
No,
Yes,
it's to get the cart out of here.
This is a high five check.
No, that's a mold earth check. Thank you very much.
I got a 2.
Ert is
Okay.
just gonna be molding the path. The cart is just gonna roll along it.
Oh, okay. We're not pushing it.
No, Ert just wants the stuff to ride in the cart.
Okay, so you two start pushing the cart, and as you do, all the noise attracts Burno's attention. He's like, hey, what the hell are you doing?
Ert's gonna raise a hand.
People wait for you to say something.
Okay, guys, who wants to see what 30 mold earth runes at once does?
Burno says that you're going to give him the bloody rune, and you're going to get your hands off his goddamn cart.
Ert is still raising his hand. He's just ignoring Burno. Who wants to see 30?
Zann has his hand resting on his longsword and staring at Burnout and saying, you make one move, and you're going to lose both of those ears.
Burno looks at you and says, you can fucking try it, kid. And Unit Row steps in and says, there is a conflict here. I am engaging conflict resolution protocols. First, what is your grievance, Burno? Burno says they're stealing his fucking cart! Unit Row looks over to Ert and says, why are you performing this action?
Well, it's because I really want to show you what 30 mold earth runes can do at once.
What does this have to do with the current scenario?
It's going to be really scientific.
Unit Row seems to be swayed by this. Burno absolutely is not. He is growling and he is snarling and he is reaching for his weapons. Unit Row looks over to Burno and says, I suggest, in the interest of diplomacy, we at least entertain his explanation.
Okay. Are they going to let Ert sit here and get all his mold earth runes lined up?
Unit Row is going to force this to happen. However, you will have a large audience.
Okay, everyone's gathered around. So what's the role for this? The goal is to see if I can send Burno into the stratosphere.
Ert, roll me an arcane or an investigation.
Zann wants to help by setting up the runes the way Ert directs him to, but you already rolled. It's
I will
chill.
allow Ert to roll again just to see if he gets a higher check. The cat is watching, and Ert lines up all the runes, and
Oh,
Unit
no.
Row says, please, proceed with your experiment. Ert, you charge the runes, and Burno vanishes into the sky. And everyone, even Nemai, claps.
Yeah.
What happened to the horse?
Oh, I hope
The
we didn't hit the
horse,
horse.
moved out of the way. It's
Thank
far
you.
away.
Good.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Zann tries to track Burno's movements so he can loot the corpse afterwards.
Oh, God.
I-
All right,
I'm-
Zann, roll me a perception.
I'm a bird, so I'm used to tracking things flying through the air, I hope. I don't know. Perception, you said, yeah?
Yep.
Here we go. Oh, nope. I got a 9.
Unfortunately, he crossed ways with the sun, and then you had to blink a few times
Yeah,
and you
he
lost him.
disappears into a little twinkle.
Well, Zann subtly reaches out a hand towards Ert for a high five, like a low five, really subtly.
Yep. Rolls a 3 for his low 5. His shoulder is still out.
All right, Unit Row looks to everyone and says, I believe this particular incident has concluded. Please proceed with your business, Ert and Zann.
We keep loading up the cart then.
Okay, so
Torlock Shadowcaller then manages to make his way out of the barrel and screams in absolute fury that nobody helped him.
Ert raises a hand and asks if he wants his help.
No!
Harry, you should probably deal with that.
Harry asks if Dorlock would have ever actually accepted anyone's help.
Dorlock raises a finger and says, that's actually a good point. Fair enough.
Now, we're going to need some help from these guys because we got this cart full of magical items and we got some guys to help us pull it, but we're going to need to go through one of their armies.
Harry I was actually in the middle of trying to explain all of that before you ended up doing this thing with the cart and the runes.
Now, I will say, for the purposes of plotting, if Terry wants to do something clever and political, everyone is still gathered here except for Burno.
Burno's dead. Burno's freaking dead, dude. Sorry about
I
wasting
don't know.
the hook.
He might have a pretty good acrobatics score.
I mean, if you launched him that high up in the sky, is any amount of acrobatics going to stop that fall damage?
In D&D, yes.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, Terry is saying I was actually in the middle of that, and, kind of turns to the rest of the group, and he will proceed with trying to get that help to get across the border. While also mentioning he might have somewhat of a favor to ask.
Ert, you're not on the scene. Go away.
For you see, there was a civilian among the people who is most likely been captured by a town nearby.
At that, Ellie focuses in and says, tell me what's happened.
Harry will explain who the civilian is, and did you say Kethlin or Sethlin? Because C's are usually S's at the beginning of a name.
It's Kethlin.
Kethlin. All right.
Hail Kaiser.
So yeah, he explains this just like, yes, her name is Kethlin. She is a civilian. May have been from the Empire, but she is not a soldier.
Ellie looks considering at this, and she says, and this doesn't have anything to do with the surrendered army.
If she's here in the surrendered army, then I will definitely be fighting for at least her safe release.
Ellie looks distant for a moment, and she says, I don't think anyone matching that particular description is in the army.
All right, because I was informed that she had been taken into custody, and I am very concerned.
Ellie looks a little bit contemplative for a moment, and then she says, so, how much do you know about this border alliance thing?
Not much.
From the far side of the cart, they're bandits.
Ellie gives a small nod and says, up until this point, we hadn't heard much of them either. They keep over to the west end of the continent, apparently because they don't like oversight and rules. This has not made them very popular at the table, of course, because everyone isn't very interested in what they want, because they're not interested in what everyone else wants.
Right. As he was heavily implying slavery or killing the entire army of poor soldiers who are now considered felons.
Ellie says that if you were to conduct a private investigation into the matter, say you were to take a look at some of the territory that these Border Alliance National Defense Initiative treaty members were to be patrolling, then she might turn a blind eye. In fact, the entire patrol contingent might turn a blind eye.
All right.
Leans around the cart. So we just kill him, yeah?
For fuck's sake, how far away are you? Come on!
Okay, maybe not close enough to inject that.
Yeah, no, Terry he is not going to suggest murder, but he'll
Yeah, we'll
nod.
probably do it anyway.
He'll nod and say, in exchange for this, we'll call it a favor, you can help us with motions to all of the captured soldiers and the border, probably check, because we would really like to just move away from the shore as fast as possible.
Ellie says that she can do some work in order to make sure that all the soldiers are taken care of in the proper way. Dorlock asks if that means killing them all. Ellie says probably not. Dorlock indignantly asks why nobody is on board for killing them all. So, Ellie says that she will handle the situation with the surrendering army, probably take them into patrol custody, despite the objections of everyone else here. But Ellie says that they have a legitimate claim to the territory. The locals don't appear to be handling things very well. And what's more, the patrol is still willing to work with the other, factions in order to disseminate some of the technology, the information, and, if there's any tactical information about further enemy action. Ellie says this as sort of a broad hint.
A broad hint to Terry or the others?
To Terry.
Okay.
She looks at Terry with a particularly fixed expression and asks, "You wouldn't happen to know anything useful, would you?"
And just him sitting there going, is all of this still technically off the record?
Ellie says, "I can make it more off the record." Go away, Ert!
Zann is with Ert, making sure Ert keeps pushing the cart towards the soldiers.
Terry just nods and just says, I've heard word that there might be another force coming in 4 times as strong, and their orders is anybody from the first wave is to be arrested and handled under claims of treason, and as well to not show mercy to much else.
Ellie gives a nod and says, "That is important." And she says, "You can go. I'll pass word along that your group is allowed to pass, but I need to go ahead and talk to someone really quick."
Terry nods, and is there besides the bandits, is there any information of where else or who else might have taken Kethlin?
Ellie says that you should probably go with your gut on this one. If you're getting some broad hints from the DM, you should probably follow him. And yes, she says that in character.
Oh,
Terry is
nice.
confused, but he just nods. Just, oh, all right. Thank you.
And Ellie heads off. And as Ellie heads off, you hear clearly exasperated Captain Ezark, "You mean there's another force? Why can't I just go home?"
Lack of roads.
Terry,
Bro.
he can hear Terry from the the background, just going, "Sorry."
"No, you're not. No, you're not."
Just Terry going, "No, I legitimately am."
Uh-oh, we have some art problems.
There we go.
You missed a wheel. You left a
Okay.
wheel behind.
And with that, Ert and Zann make their escape, the squadron soldiers grouping up to help you push. The squadron soldiers immediately insist that they be given some of this loot.
Zann tells the soldiers that they are stepping way above their pay grade, and if they lay a hand on it, they're going to lose a hand, and we will divvy this stuff out later, but this is for Ert to research, and they need to remember their place.
And Ert's like, actually, if you guys want to be the guinea pigs on this one, go for it. Some of these things are sketchy as shit.
Zann
The
looks to
hell is
Urt.
a hat of vermin?
Zann looks to Urt, says, "I'm going to leave this with you," and then flies back over to join Terry to make sure everything's okay.
Urt has a rat on his face.
Was
Okay.
anybody interested at all at the whole, like him saying, "No, I legitimately am"?
Sorry, you legitimately are what?
When when Terry yelled he was sorry, and the captain said, "No, you're not," and Terry went, "No, I legitimately am."
This was mostly taken as Terry being polite.
No, and then someone cast Detect Truth.
Fuck you, man.
Holy shit, he is actually sorry.
Unfortunately, no one is Wonder Woman.
But anyway, any final things to do here at the political delegation?
Uh,
One last thing that Zann will do is he'll ask Ellie, how do we stay in contact with you, or how do we get in contact with you again, should we need to?
Ellie informs you that a good way to get in contact with her would be to make a flag. She'll keep an eye out.
Make a flag. Okay. Anything in particular need to go on this flag?
If you just put the word Ellie or the patrol on it, that would work.
Got it. Nice cat.
Ellie says thank you.
it's on loan.
From down the hill. Don't eat it.
Ellie
I don't-
informs you that the cat's name is Winnie.
Hi, Winnie. Good job tripping up the skeleton guy over there. I mean, what?
Meow.
It is a very cute cat.
All right, Terry and Zann, make your escape.
"Quote unquote escape." Sure.
Yeah, I mean, jauntily walking out in full view of everyone. Yes, we are escaping.
Okay, so you have arrived from the diplomatic tangle. You are meeting back up with your army, and you have been given the blessing of the other factions. If you wanted to look into this quote-unquote local militia and their doings, everyone else would turn a blind eye to it.
Yeah, Terry very much would like to.
Urt has a question. Who owns that little fort?
The people who own the local fort, supposedly it's the local militia, but right now it's in the hands of the Festiva delegation.
Okay, we like those guys.
I have an idea.
Zann prepares himself to hear Urt's idea by clenching his fists and unclenching them a little bit and just being like, it's gonna be okay, Zann. Telling yourself it's gonna be
Urt
fine.
has an idea for what to do with the army while we're waiting.
Okay.
Urt says the army should build a road between the surrendering relief force and the fort,
Why?
because that's where they're gonna go.
Did we get clearance for the surrendering guys to come with us? Or I thought they were
Nope.
separate.
Nope. They're separate. The patrol is gonna take them under their wing, but they're gonna need to set up their own little, place in the world, like that fort.
I don't think that fort is gonna be available to them right now.
It could be.
If we get the clearance from those guys to do it, I'm down.
Okay,
But I
Urt
don't-
writes in his journal. Urt writes in his journal advising that if he doesn't get a fort, he's going to throw the journal in a fire.
Uh,
How's that for a nuclear option?
Okay, Urt,
Terry is not happy.
go ahead and roll me a Constitution saving throw.
A constitution?
Yep.
This is not going to end well.
well, I mean, duh.
Urt's fine.
Oh wow.
Okay, Urt, you receive an extremely uncomfortable electric shock from the journal.
Urt writes in the journal, there's something wrong with the journal. It's shocking me.
Is Ert's character arc going to be actually getting a personality?
Let's hope. Let's hope
Personalities
it's
for
not.
losers. Science is forever.
Oh no. All right.
we-
Well,
Any response?
There is no visible response.
Urt writes, journal broken, throwing out.
Roll me another Constitution saving throw.
Do I see him get shocked?
Yes.
Journal super broken, definitely throwing out.
Zann tells to stop playing with fire. We just made friends. We don't need to lose them. And that we will talk about the road to the soldiers' camp later. But first, we need to figure out what to do with our guys.
Raises a hand.
Yes,
How about a canal?
No, what are we doing with our soldiers in terms of the militia? Are we going to chase them? Like, are we going, or rather, are we going in that direction right now?
Like,
or
should we
are
just roll our whole army up and kill them all?
You totally can. Your army is stronger than the local militia, you're pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah, but we are not going to just roll up and kill them all.
Why not?
Because even if they're turning a blind eye to this, there is still the implications of the civilians.
What, in the local militia? It's just the militia force there.
No, not the local militia. There's going to be civilians that will be hearing of this. Terry is against the idea of just killing everyone.
Yes, indiscriminate death is probably not a good thing if you want to, make a good impression on.
Well, it's not.
Ert nods sagely. We have to pretend to give them an option.
Terry, there's no pretending. Just, have any of you ever heard of a term that I've been hearing flung around lately of people who get killed very quickly because they are something called a murder hobo?
So I'm not suggesting we just go kill them for the sake of killing them, but we literally just got the clearance from. We essentially got asked by Ellie to handle the militia. And I mean, based on Burno, they're not going to take very kindly to us saying go away. So I think we should go in there prepared to kill them, because I don't think they're going to take us saying, "Hey, give us what we want and go away" very
Ert
lightly.
has an idea.
Prepared to sounds fine. Going in with the intention of only killing, no.
I go in with the assumption that that's what's going to have to happen. I'm assuming that will be what has to happen.
It's
Ert
almost
still
like the
has an
DM planned a
idea.
combat encounter for this game.
Terry is still going to try. Well, he's still saying it's just like we need to at least try before we go for the option of die.
Ert is now standing on a little hillock of shaped earth and holding a hammer in the air. Ert has an idea.
Yes, Shorty?
Yeah. Let's tell them we're looking for the dog.
Okay, and what will that accomplish?
We're there to search for their glorious leader and rescue him.
From them?
I don't know. No one's seen him, right? Ert looks at you. You did see where he landed, right?
I couldn't track him very well, unfortunately. You sent him a little quickly. There was a lot of good velocity there. Good
Ert's
acceleration.
theory is we should just tell the militia that we're, a rescue party looking for their boss.
Has word even gotten to them that he's missing? It just happened.
Well, we're going to tell them.
And they're going to believe
Obvious.
us?
You keep on trying to insert logic into this.
Okay, I see where this is going. I understand now. Okay. All right.
Okay, so we're going to be a peace delegation to the local militia looking to rescue their leader, right, Terry?
Mm,
Terry just kind of sighs and just I guess.
I disagree with this action, but
Well, this would be a good time for the scouts to actually do scouty shit.
Okay. So, would you like to assign some scouts to actually scout things out?
so we just got back to base. I'm gonna have bring the magical items over to Farron, to have her start looking at them, and then I'm gonna have the rest of the CRT. I'm gonna ask them, "Hey, you already checked out the local militia a little bit, yeah? Can you
Yeah.
go check to see how combat ready they are and where most of their forces are, and just do a general scouting run on them again?"
All right. This can be done. Pep, in particular, offers to take the 4 on this one.
All right.
So, are you going to assign Pep some soldiers or just Pep alone?
We'll do Pep plus a 10-man.
Okay.
Are they actually helpful?
Yes, this will actually be helpful. One moment, please. I'm going to pull up some stuff.
I mean, is is saying we're looking for their lost leader that they don't know is lost yet helpful?
Okay, so here's the thing. If you want to make Pep's little scouting team into a proper thing, you can assign a 20-man fire team under her command and use 5 runic energy. And if you do that, then I'm going to give you a big advantage in the stuff that happens next.
20 people for a scouting mission?
Well, there's a lot of logistics, okay?
First,
It won't actually like burn 20 of your soldiers so that you can't use them in the future. It's just saying you need to have at least 20 people in order to do this.
Yeah, we can't divvy up our unit smaller than 20 with soldiers.
oh, I thought it was 10. My bad. I mathed wrong.
No, I didn't know it. Yeah, I just assumed it's 20 because he said 20.
So this will require 5 runic energy.
Are we okay with that?
Hurt is totally okay. He's got a cart full of shit.
Okay.
He's gonna take this hat of vermin thing and he is gonna weaponize it.
Oh boy.
Zann slowly backs away from Urt and
Hurt
gives
holds
Pep
up
the
a
go.
rat and goes, "Zann, eat this."
No.
Zann is not okay with that.
You're a bird.
That is incredibly racist.
Urt looks at the rat. Good point. And goes over to the campfire.
Oh my fucking god. In the meantime, Pep is assigned her 20-person fire team and given the runic energy, right? No objections?
No objections.
Yeah, if Terry's fine with it, then we're chilling.
Okay, and so when Pep reports back, she has some news for you, and you need to act on it fast. Because the local militia have been stirred up and hard. And they are splitting up, and they appear to be, like, separating themselves into, like, attack squads, which Pep notes is an incredibly stupid idea. She supposes that the reason for all this splitting up into attack squads might be because their leader, in possession of quite a few magic items, just barely survived being catapulted into the stratosphere and is now out for blood.
Perfect.
Pep says that there is a particular settlement they are grouped up around. The leader himself appears to be there, along with some sort of stronghold that she heard voices coming out of, and not happy voices either. If she had to guess, that's where they're holding a prisoner. And if you wanted to punch through a weak point in their defenses, you should hit there, and you should hit it now.
Zann agrees wholeheartedly and tells the troops, "Hey, we're going," and starts marching straight there. Doesn't bother to ask anyone's opinion on it. It says we're going.
Okay, here we go.
Urt looks up. The fuck the bird go?
Urt just gets left behind.
All right, and one moment, please.
If Terry is tagging along on this, I'm assuming you are, Terry.
Oh, he is. And he's bringing at least... Like, do we know how many people? Did Pep tell us how many people, like bandits?
Pep says that there are 5 bandits in this particular encampment, but the thing is that because she scouted it out beforehand, you might be able to get the drop on them.
Cool. Well, let's bring at least 10 people.
Yeah, are soldiers coming with us, or how does that work? How did the soldiers bit work?
You can bring soldiers with you during any combat. Just say that they're there. I will note that the soldiers are not super great at stealth, and if they are injured in combat, you will lose squadron manpower.
Okay, and it would also cost manpower to bring them with us, right?
No, it will not cost
energy.
manpower to bring them with you as long as you protect them and keep them alive.
Okay. But they're not great at stealth, and we're trying to get the drop on them here.
Yes, so you could assign them to a reserve force to come in and help, but say again, Shuggy?
They can stay with Urt, who is also not great at stealth.
All right, so Urt, you may place yourself anywhere on the north end of the map, and then I will put however many soldiers you decree alongside you.
Well, this is the road, so we should be on the road. Toss them in there where all the green is.
Well, yes, that is your fetish nowadays.
It really is. Ert's got a huge road fetish. Yeah.
Okay, there you go. 10 soldiers. Terry, Zann, and Pep can move somewhere else if they want to.
So what are the access points for this stronghold? Is it just that cave on the south side?
It looks to be just the cave on the south side.
For
The
now.
whole point of the stronghold seems to be that it has some gnarly cliffs all around it. But the thing is that if you climb up them, it wouldn't be too difficult as long as someone wasn't shooting arrows at you.
Okay. Zann would suggest I mean I could fly up.
Yeah, we need Zann on aerial here.
Yeah, Zan's going flying straight up. Like how high is the cliff? How high is this mountain hill cliff stronghold thing?
If you go up a wall like this one, it is about 10 feet up.
3 stories. Let's call it 3 stories.
Zann flies 100 feet in the air straight up.
Okay.
And just does an aerial scouting on the top and see if he can see anyone outside on the top.
Okay, you do see someone outside on the top, and it is Burno. And Burno is looking around, and he looks out for blood. He also looks like he has more than a few busted up twigs sticking out of his fur.
Does he look injured?
Oh, yes.
Oh yes, wonderful. Okay, Zann.
I have an idea.
Yes.
Terry has a hook.
Oh, God, you do have a hook on him.
Oh, but Zann really wants to shoot the stupid dog. Zann doesn't like the dog. You're gonna have to really convince Zann to not shoot the stupid dog. If you haven't noticed, Zann the entire time has really not liked the dog.
Oh, go figure.
But what would be funnier, shooting the dog or using the hook to make him sit and stay while we save everybody that's inside the cave?
That would be pretty funny, but do we lose the drop on the 5 bandits on the inside?
No.
No? Okay, okay,
And I do want to mention that Burno is one of the 5 bandits.
okay.
Okay, so we need to get Terry within talking range of Burno without
No,
being
you do
noticed.
not.
What?
No.
The subtle hooks work on autopilot. Terry can set things up so that Burno thinks that sitting down and doing nothing is the greatest idea at the time.
Oh. Dang,
Fucking
man.
bard, man.
Yeah.
I'll shoot him afterwards, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, I like the hook idea though.
I mean, we'll get the drop on him because we'll be inside when he hears all the commotion, and then you can shoot him.
Okay. Zann is warming up to this idea.
Urge is sitting there going, look, I got 10 people here with Mold Earth runes. We can just tunnel straight in.
So he's the only one on the outside.
Burno is the only one you can see on the outside. However, you did fly up, right? So
Yes.
go ahead and roll me a perception, Zann.
Perception.
Did you spot the prisoner? That's the important question.
With an 11, we'll see. Middling.
Okay, so you did spot the prisoner. However, you're not sure where the other people are camped. Well, in a sense. Hold on one moment. I just got to place a token.
That's a big token. Okay, there we go.
So there appears to be a prisoner kept inside of a cage, and apparently keeping an eye, quote unquote, on the prisoner, there appears to be a kitsune.
Okay.
Notably, the kitsune never opens his eyes.
Zann figures there's something up with that. Is he standing straight up?
Yes.
Zann assumes there's something up with that and just assumes that he can see. I don't even. What is a kitsune? Like this is
Fox
me,
person.
Zach asking. Okay, it means fox.
Kitsune is those fox creatures from Japanese folklore.
Got it. All right, so it's a 9 tails. Understood. Or a Vulpix. We'll call it a Vulpix. It's a Vulpix.
Yeah, we'll call it a Vulpix.
Yeah.
It's white, so it's an Alolan Vulpix. Okay.
Fuck you, man.
The fact that you know that amazes me.
Zann calls back to Urt and Terry and says, "Don't worry, it's ice and fairy type. We're fine." Sorry.
Urge like, wait, are the rest of them in that cave?
I would assume so.
I would assume so as well.
I couldn't get a really good look at it. There was a whole lot of trees in the way, so I'm not sure how good a look I got, but I did see 2 up top.
Okay, so here's Ert's volunteer for the plan. Say when, and the entire top of the hill will just slump into the cave.
Oh, collapse on top of it?
Yep, the entire cave, gone. We're going to take 10 of these tiles and liquefy them.
Good God.
Zann likes that idea. His only hiccup on it is Pep. Yeah, Zann turns to Pep and says, "Pep, you mentioned he had a lot of magic items on him, yeah?
Yeah, Burno specifically does.
Oh, on his person.
Exactly.
Okay, my qualms with the plan no longer matter. I thought they might have been in the cave." Zann looks at Ert and says, "I have no issues with this. Terry, what do you think?"
He might have reservations, but he doesn't really have any other better ideas.
Are your reservations that we're killing people without giving them a chance?
Oh, we're not killing people. They can dig out.
No, the reservation is more a problem with the terrain then becoming difficult to traverse for us.
Would it?
Well, that's what the bird's for. Have them carry you.
Yes,
I-
if
okay,
you wanted to
that was a
collapse it
question I
and mold
had.
earth runes, you'd have to spend another action to mold it back, or it would cost you double the movement to move over it.
So, as an Aarakocra, I don't actually. Can I carry people while flying? I don't remember seeing that anywhere. Am I able to carry
You
someone
can
while
carry
flying?
people, however, it will be an athletics check for you.
And I could drop them?
Yes, you could.
Okay. So Zann looks to Ert and says, "I know I'm tall. I'm not actually that strong. I'm more quick and agile."
Pep points up a finger and says, "If you wanted to carry someone you over a high bluff, you'd better carry me, not Terry or Ert."
Yeah. Pep's pretty light. We've done that before. I imagine we would have.
Gary is rather light for his size, but he's still pretty heavy.
And also tall.
Can Terry climb that cliff?
Terry probably cannot climb that cliff.
It would be a DC 13 acrobatics or athletics check.
Okay, so let's see.
Zan's down for taking Pep up top and dealing with the two up top while the others go
I
inside the
have
cave or deal with the cave guys.
I have 2 spare rune casts to help Terry.
What runes?
Well, one of them can be Ert's, so a lot of them.
Oh.
So Terry, would you like a ramp?
I guess so.
Would that so here's a question for the DM. Does making a ramp cause noise?
Yes, a lot.
Yeah,
Okay.
it'll all be instant. Well, they're going to collapse the cave, and then the last one can make a ramp for Terry.
It is notable that the Mold Earth spell has a range of 30 feet.
Oh,
That's
okay.
a
We got to sneak up.
range. Okay. That changes things a
I
bit.
thought it was line of sight. My bad.
You need line of sight, and you need to be in range.
They can get pretty close.
If we can get the forces up to there, we can collapse the dungeon.
And Bruno is the one who's on lookout, apparently.
So I do need and he's injured. I can get up there and take him out before
Well,
he
Terry can just tell him to freeze.
Yeah, I can use my hook to just make him literally do nothing.
That's valid.
Let's have the bird and Pep go for the hostage.
Knock out the fox.
Terry holds down Berno.
What does the fox say?
The fox probably says, "Ow."
Oh. Okay. Okay, so when Terry uses his hook, how long does that last on Burno? How long does he stay in his little stupor?
1 hour.
Oh shoot. Okay. Well then.
Okay then.
Let's yeah, I like this. Zann and Pep go up. Fly. I'll carry Pep up since Pep is light. Fly Pep up
Bert
to.
will literally carry the damn elf over the ledge.
Okay. It looks like we got a plan, and we move the soldiers down the road past where Burno is to get them in position to collapse the cave entrance. There's that other cave entrance in the south we have to worry about.
Well, they're all going to get a move, so they
Okay.
get a move and a cast.
Okay, so let's start things off. Terry, do you call in your hook?
Yes.
Okay, Burno looks to his minions and says, All right, you idiots. Nothing's happening here, so I'm going to take a nap. And I'm going to have my fucking earplugs in, so nobody come bother me. You hear that? I'll fucking kill you if you don't.
Terry can't do that unless he can see Burno. Come on, Terry, get up.
No, Terry just arranges for things to happen.
Yeah, I don't have to
Oh.
see the person.
And Burno goes to sleep with earplugs in. He is out for an hour.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, in the last session, he called up some random guy in supply line in order to
See,
get us.
I thought you knew that person. That's why I was confused.
I thought you knew that person too.
Technically, he did know him by way of having a hook on him.
Okay.
Ah.
He has to
Alright.
at least have talked to somebody at least once.
Okay. Zann looks at Urt and kind of mutters under his breath, I think we should be more scared of the elf.
Just rolled his eyes. Get up there, bird boy.
All right, Zann, go ahead and roll me in athletics in order to carry Pep. The DC is 11.
Oh boy. I still have to roll, even though it's Pep. Okay. That's why okay. This is
It
gonna
would
be
have been a
bad,
higher
guys.
DC if it was anyone else.
Great. Here we go. This is gonna be bad. Oh yes, natural 19.
Okay, Zann and Pep are in the air, and they are coming in on your wonderful target, the Kitsune here.
All right. Am I able to drop Pep off? Drop Pep off and get ready to attack, and like coordinate a surprise attack with Pep, or no?
Yes, you will be able to do that. However, I will have you roll a stealth check in order to do that.
Oh boy, I'm actually decent at that. This is where I'm going to roll poorly.
Yeah, the dice are capricious.
I got a 7.
Okay, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and roll for Pep now.
I got a 7.
Yep, the dice are capricious.
Yeah. Pep got a 17.
Okay, Pep did indeed get a 17. So, what happens here? This is basically going to start us off on initiative. So, first things first, I will say that the soldiers have managed to make a ramp right in front of Urt.
All right.
Nope. Terry said he didn't need it.
I never said anything about not needing a ramp.
No, Terry never said that.
Oh.
Well, so we have a ramp right in front of Urt. The rest of the squadron has not casted their mold earth in order to collapse the cave yet. Zann has been noticed, and the Kitsune Snowblind here is going to get something off on you. However, Pep is still in stealth. So, Zann, please go ahead and roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, so he's faster than me in initiative? We're not just equal.
He's getting a surprise action on you.
Oh, he gets a surprise on me when I'm okay.
Yes, he gets a surprise on you. Pep gets a surprise on him.
That's interesting. Okay.
This is just me homebrewing. Don't worry about it.
14.
All right, Zann, you succeeded, but your vision suddenly goes dim for a moment, and it's a terrifying sensation, especially as you almost careen off the cliff.
Is it totally dim, or did it just like for a blink for a second and
Just,
then it went back
just
to
for a
normal?
second.
Okay. Zann steadies himself with his wings and makes sure he doesn't fall.
All right, and then Pep charges in for a single slash.
Ooh.
Jesus Christ, Pep. And she does a total of 10 damage because the crits here just try to do their own thing, whatever.
Double? Yeah. Okay.
So, Snowblind is not looking great. However, all this commotion does set off the alarm, and now it is time to roll initiative.
Wow, I rolled bad. That's with a +4.
That'll teach you to actually do actions.
Yeah, right? Wow, nice. You guys are rolling well.
So Pep makes her roll. Squadron soldiers are going to make their roll in just a sec.
Yeah, that tracks.
And then,
Who is that? Is that Burno?
yeah, that's Burno's squad. So, it seems that they actually did respond to this fairly fast, so they unfortunately get the first turn. So, here's where we reveal the other enemies. A goblin springs out of the underbrush, a gnome detaches herself from where she was resting up against the cliff, and there is a deep roaring from inside the lower cave.
Are none of them inside the upper cave?
Technically, the big goblin was in both of the caves. He was, this is where he exits, basically.
Yeah, but he's big. He can just climb up.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. So, here is what we're going to do. Snowblind is going to take a 5-foot step back and desperately try blinding Pep. Pep gets a natural 1. Pep is blind.
Whoops.
Womp womp.
Snowblind then refocuses attention over on Zann. Zann, make me yet another Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
The DC is 12.
19.
All right, Zann is once again not blinded. That is Snowblind's turn. Twang Thang, right here, is going to take a 5-foot step forward, then realizing at the last moment that it's a bad idea, but whatever. And she is going to fire an arrow at the blinded Pep, and she gets advantage.
17.
Okay, and with Pep's sheet, she has an armor class of 15, so that is a hit.
Not Pep. Don't you dare. Don't kill my Pep. Okay, that's fine.
Twang Thang is going to fire another arrow.
That's rude.
Also a hit.
Another 4. At least she's rolling low on those d8s, eh?
I know, right? Okay, next up is the gnome, Boingo. So, Boingo is not a fan of all these happenings, and she is going to cast a spell. Okay, so, upon hearing all this commotion, she rushes over here and starts precariously standing on this little outcropping. I'm going to have her roll an acrobatics for this.
Natural 1. Natural 1.
Oh, she still didn't do too great. She does not get line of sight. She hastily backs up, cursing. And
But she
that's...
swears someone's on the path.
She could swear someone's on the path. However, the path up to get to a better vantage is blocked by, enemies.
Hey, that's me.
Speaking of which, she's going to try and do something to them. Zann and Pep both make dexterity saving throws against her spell.
Okay. 12.
Pep is fine, and
I feel not fine for some reason.
the DC is 12. Roll again.
Oh, okay. Do better, Zann. Do better. That's much worse.
All right, Zann, you are suddenly entangled in a bunch of vines.
Wonderful.
Okay, last up is the big goblin brute. The big goblin brute hears that all the stuff is actually happening above him, so he is going to make his way through the tunnel in order to come smash you, and he is just in the entryway, and that is his turn. Terry, it is now your turn. You hear a bunch of commotion happening up above you.
Your ramp awaits, O Terry.
Your wonderful stallion ramp.
Yes. He's going to take cover with the tree because I like having cover.
I thought you just liked trees because you were an elf.
Heh.
I will then give everybody. Let's see, where is it? I'm pretty sure I can give you guys bardic inspiration even from here.
You give everybody bardic inspiration?
I can give you two and himself. Anyone within 60 feet. So yeah, you two will all get you two get a bardic inspiration, and Terry's giving himself one.
All at once? That's crazy.
It's a bonus action.
But how does he bardically inspire us?
Not Pet.
Oh,
Pep
not
doesn't
Pep?
get one? Okay.
I'm giving it to Zann and Urt.
Okay. So, how do you bardically inspire people, Terry?
Well, he tells Urt that he gets to keep all the magic stuff if we actually get out of this.
I mean, that would work as a motivation.
And he tells Zann to stop fucking up.
Hey now.
And for Zann, he promises to make sure that the camps are more comfortable for him and his crew.
I don't know if that would inspire me. We're pretty chill without the camp, but I'll take it. I'll take it.
All right, and then Terry, you still have one action left, I believe.
Yes. And that's going to be a spell.
What spells do you have?
Not much in the sense of damage.
What do you have like hold person-ish?
I don't have the whole person, but I do have Tasha's hideous laughter.
Ooh, who are you going to use that on?
Hmm. I'm thinking. Oh, where's the their show description? Something. Let's see. Something with a very low wisdom. I'm going to assume that's Lunk Thunk.
Very likely.
A creature with an intelligence of 4 or less isn't affected.
Thankfully, he has just enough that he is sapient.
So I'm going to say I will use Tasha's hideous laughter on Lunk Thunk.
Okay, and he gets a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, 14.
All right, one moment, please.
Nice.
He is laughing.
Cool. This is a concentration, so as long as I can keep it up, he's going to keep laughing.
Oh, God. It makes another wisdom save each turn, huh? Oh, and he's prone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he's
falls
prone.
prone.
Oh, that's going to go badly for him.
Incapacitated prone and makes a save every turn. Oh, what does incapacitated mean in D&D?
Basically, you can't take any actions, and everything against you has an advantage.
That's dope. Okay.
Yeah. So imagine now everybody's watching as this giant goblin has fallen over because he's found something absolutely hilarious.
Okay, so, Ert, it is your turn.
I'd like to think that the laughs are echoing because he's in the mouth of the cave.
Yes, it is incredibly creepy.
Urge gonna spend his whole turn just getting up here, looks around, sees the laughing giant goblin thing.
Technically, you wouldn't see it from this angle.
Yeah.
You can hear him, but you can't see
Hear
him.
him. He's pretty big. I mean, I
He's-
see him over the ledge.
He's in the mouth of the cave.
Yes.
Yeah, the only reason Terry saw him at first was because he was standing.
Well, Urt's gonna spend his whole turn just taking a peek at what's going on, then turning around to the soldiers and going, "Go!"
Okay, the soldiers are going to go. It is not an action to command the soldiers, by the way. So if you want to do one more thing, you can.
Urt's just planning this shit. You see the plan? He is conveying the plan. That is his turn.
Okay, then we go over to Pep's
Well,
turn.
does Lung Thung survive that? Or are we doing we're waiting for the soldiers. Got it. Go ahead.
We're waiting for the soldiers. So, Pep's turn. Pep, she gets another Constitution saving throw.
20.
Okay, her vision is going to be cleared up at the end of the turn, but until then, she will still be at disadvantage for her attacks. In this particular instance, she does not feel safe trying to dive off of anything. She is going to step forward and try and stab the shit out of Snowblind. Just in case it works.
Go, Pep. Go, Pep.
Okay, that is actually a hit, and it does take Snowblind down.
Nice. Good job, Pep.
And then Pep, standing over the unconscious body of Snowblind, says, boss, I didn't think I'd get this far.
Stab it again.
Pep then takes this advice and stabs Snowblind again. Snowblind is now very thoroughly on the course of being dead.
Good.
Zann, it is your turn. You are restrained, which means that you have a movement speed of 0.
Okay.
If you would like, however, you can use an action in order to try and break free of the vines that you were entangled with. It is a strength saving throw.
Does it affect my ability to shoot my longbow?
No.
Do I have line of sight on the stupid little gnome that put these vines on me?
Yes.
I am
I
going
will
to...
say that because you are restrained, you do get disadvantage. Sorry, I didn't mention that before.
Restrained is disadvantage?
Yes, disadvantage on your attacks.
Okay.
So you can still do this.
Okay, that change. Does that change things? Let's see. So with my bonus action, I'm going to use a rune of Hunter's Mark, and I'm going
Okay.
to mark Boingo because screw that guy, girl, gal, person.
Yeah, screw them.
That one, right? Did I do that right?
Yep, you did it right.
Okay, so they're marked. I have advantage on nope, not on attacks, on perception checks. Okay, cool. But if I actually hit them, I get an extra 1d6. So
It
that's
will
my
not be
bonus
hard to
action.
hit them. I will spoil this right now. Her AC is 11.
Okay. I'm drawing my longbow. And let me just check my skills really quick, my leveled up stuff. Just to make sure I'm doing this right. Double check. Okay, that's a long range attack, so that doesn't affect this. Okay, I'm going to shoot my longbow with my first action.
Okay, let's see it.
This is disadvantage, right?
Yes,
9 to hit. Swamp
that
womp.
is a miss. You
My
can attack
rolls
again, though.
really low. Yes, I am going to attack again. And this time I can use. I have my bonus action, right? I have it back now.
No. You only get one bonus action per turn.
Got it. Okay, I misunderstood. I'm attacking again. Disadvantage. Nope.
Well, this is a bad day for Zann.
Zann is having a bad time.
Okay, it is now the soldiers' turn. And here's the thing. When the soldiers start storming down in order to do the tunneling thing, Twang Thang starts yelling at Boingo, saying, Why you not use Entangle on the soldiers? And Boingo says, I only had one spell in reserve! I keep telling you I need more magic! And so the squadron soldiers proceed to tunnel, using mold earth, through this entire tunnel, and collapse it on Lunk Thunk. And Lunk Thunk does get a dexterity saving throw, a disadvantage, but he is probably fucked.
He's incapacitated. Can he make dexterity saving throws?
Yes, you actually can still make saving throws even while incapacitated.
Okay.
Okay. And so his actually got decent dexterity. I wasn't expecting that. And he failed.
Oh, shoot.
So Lunk Thunk is crushed by a whole bunch of boulders. He finds this hilarious too. He is still alive down there.
Oh, okay.
The soldiers look to Urt and say, Should we keep marching, sir?
Urt just looks at him and he goes, "Keep casting."
Okay, then they're going to stay in place and they're going to use their next turn to do that too.
Yep. So what happened to Berno when all the ground under his tree fell away?
Yeah, Burno is currently at the bottom of a very deep pit now, still asleep. Okay, so Twang Thang and Boingo. Twang Thang and Boingo are realizing they might be a little bit fucked.
We might be able to convince them to join our side.
No, no using diplomacy. How dare you?
Aw.
Okay.
How dare the diplomat use diplomacy?
Well, if you do want to try intimidation, that might work. But anyway, Twang Thang is going to take a 5-foot step back, and he's going to try desperately to bring down Pep. Let's see what he gets.
This is like a crossbow again, right?
This is a bow.
A bow, just a regular bow. Okay.
Yep. So he gets +4.
Ooh, Pep.
And she takes 16 damage. Pep is down.
Oh no.
Okay, Twang Thang then fires her next shot at Zann. This has advantage. 23 versus AC. I'm pretty sure that hits.
Yeah. Rune of shield. My AC is now 23. You have to reroll.
Well, fuck you then.
Yeah, no, fuck you.
Oh, sorry, that's 16, but whatever.
Just so you could see it. Just so you could see it. There's the thing.
Okay, so the second arrow misses. Twang Thang begins bitterly complaining, but comforts herself on that she at least got the asshole who got snowblind.
Zann is very not happy about Pep going down here.
Okay, and meanwhile, Boingo comes up and she starts wielding a sort of sling staff and flings a stone at Zann.
Still have an AC of 23 until the turn ends.
Sorry, that's with advantage. So that's a miss, and she sees that this is not working. She doesn't have a whole lot of other options. She's a druid who can't cast any spells right now.
Does entangle? So she cast another. No, she didn't cast a spell at me. She threw something at me. So entangle still is in effect. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So if she's smart, she would run.
Well, these people are not known for their intelligence.
There's also not a place that she can run from, right? That's the cave entrance collapsed. She'd have to jump off the cliff in order to get away.
Yeah, so, that might be limiting things. She is going to throw another stone at Zann for lack of anything better to do.
She's gonna get a nat 20 watch. Oh, close.
Yeah, but she actually does still biff it.
Oh, Zann just, readies another arrow, aiming straight at Boingo. Very, very pissed off that Pep goes down.
And you do still have your inspiration.
Oh! I would have used that to hit Boingo ages ago. Okay, I forgot. My bad. We'll wait till my next turn.
You have a free d6.
Yeah.
Okay, so
could've-
Terry, you hear Lung Thunk still... Oh, wait, I got to roll for Lung Thunk. Lung Thunk is still disabled.
Wouldn't he? So to be fair, he would get a second roll because he took damage, right?
Let me check.
I believe that's how it is.
Oh, yes, it would.
So he should get another one.
Yep.
Oh.
Lung Thunk is still just fucked.
He's rolling as bad as Zann.
Okay, so Terry, it is your turn.
Mm-hmm.
Terry, you notice that the woman in the cage is trying desperately to reach Pep.
Yes, and I think... Do I have thing for this?
Can you catapult the lock off? Does that work?
I don't think catapulting it off would work unless you did enough damage to break the lock.
Hmm.
Alright, so cool. Terry will go ahead. Lung Thunk is buried under earth now, right?
Yes.
It's gonna take him a while to get back up, so that gives us time. He's gonna have to break concentration for this. Because as a bonus action, anybody watching Terry blinks, and now he's over here.
Oh my.
It is a thing he can do. I'm just gonna... With his elven race that he is. It's in his background, which is why I was there.
Okay.
It pretty much just lets him teleport. Let's see, his proficiency bonus, so he can do this and one more time.
Cool. Okay, so that is a bonus action. Now what are your next two actions?
He's gonna try and get the cage open.
Okay, Terry, let's see. Are you proficient in thieves' tools?
I believe he is. Let me double check.
Oh, you didn't put down any tools here, but class
I
then?
guess I'm not.
Does Terry carry a blade on him?
He does.
Okay.
He is a jack of all trades, so at least he gets to add half proficiency to anything.
One moment, please. You are proficient in 3 musical instruments.
Yeah.
No?
Well, thieves' tools can be a musical instrument if you sing while unpicking locks.
Sure.
Come on. Sing the lock open, Terry.
He cannot sing the lock open. But he can try. I know he'll be at a disadvantage, but he can try.
Would you like to roll a sleight of hand to see if you can finagle the lock?
Let's do it.
Okay, roll with no disadvantage or anything.
Damn it.
Nat 1. Terry, you try to break the lock and you hurt your hand. However, you can still try again.
Second action, right? Yeah.
Yeah, mostly Terry's not a fighter, so he's gonna try again.
Terry's a lover, not a fighter.
And
The DC is 11. Roll again.
okay. Yay!
Hey! It took a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, but we got there in the end, guys.
Yeah, Terry might have to put a band-aid on his hand. It's fine. So the woman bursts out of the cage and she immediately starts tending to Pep. She apparently has some amount of medical experience because it looks like she's doing a good job.
Zann calls out to the mystery woman, I am now madly in love with you. Keep doing it.
Thanks. It is now Ert's turn.
You have made it awkward.
Zann doesn't care. Zann just wants Pep to be okay. He's already
That's
lost
like
3
I'm saying.
people.
That's like saying "mom" to your teacher.
Thanks, Mom.
I take it that Ert is giving some new orders.
Ert's like, okay, guys, next one down this line.
Twang Thang and Boingo look up to you and it's just like, who the hell are you? At which point things happen. All right, so Ert, are you foregoing your actions in order to give the soldiers good orders?
Yep, Ert is foregoing actions to give soldiers good orders.
Okay, Pep's turn. Pep is currently being brought around. She is groaning and she is at 1 point. However, she does have just enough pep left in her to sit up and fire an arrow.
Got him. Oh, nice hit. 22. Why can't Zann roll like that, Pep? Huh? Huh?
I know, right?
Mm.
Zann, it is your turn. You are still entangled.
Oh, who did Pep shoot?
She shot Twang Thang.
Twang Thing. Okay. I'm still entangled. I don't want to be entangled. I'm glad Pep's up, but I want to be unentangled. So I'm going to shoot at Boingo again.
Okay.
I'm not really strong. It'd be like an athletics check to break free, right?
Yes, it's an athletics check, but remember you do still have inspiration.
Inspiration. Okay. So forgive me for my lack of knowledge here. What would be more likely, rolling a single die to break free of entangle with inspiration, or rolling double disadvantage to do a damage concentration check on Boingo?
I would say it is marginally more likely that you'd be able to damage Boingo.
Okay. Then I will roll an attack on Boingo. She's still marked by my hunter's mark, which I think
so you
is
still get an extra d6 if you hit her.
if I hit her. There is something I keep. No, that's a level 3 thing. Never mind. Okay, that's why I'm looking at my sheet. Like, where is this thing? I totally read about it the other day. That's a level 3 thing. Okay. I'm just gonna take a longbow shot at Boingo again. A disadvantage, right? Still.
Yep, disadvantage.
Oh my gosh. This is the worst.
The
Okay.
sad thing is, if you added the d6 to that, you could still hit.
Didn't I say I was adding d6?
Well, if you added the inspiration d6.
Oh, so I have to roll a d6.
Yes,
Okay.
you have to
Um,
roll it.
I'm not going to roll it for this one. I'm going to roll it for the next one.
Okay.
I'm going to attack again and hopefully not get what would be a 5th nat 1 tonight. I think I got 4 so
boy.
far. Okay, lost the
That is
nat
the
20.
hit
But we
without
get
the
the 12.
inspiration.
Oh, without the inspiration. Cool. All right, we
He has
hit
an AC of 11.
10 damage plus 1d6. So what is it? /R 1d6 plus 4. So 14 damage total on that hit.
Whoa, she's looking bad. Okay, and so she needs to make a concentration saving throw. Or, sorry, constitution saving throw, whatever.
What does it have to beat?
Well, I think she beat it.
Great. Zann
That's
is stuck.
fine, though, because it's now soldier time.
Zann's stuck, and Zann is very sad. You're seeing a very sad bird right now.
The soldiers march up, and they do their mold earth, and now Twang Thang and Boingo both need to make reflex dexterity saves. And Boingo does not have a good dexterity.
Good.
Boingo's fucked.
Oh, I wish they rolled that on the concentration. No, maybe this is better.
Twang Thang actually managed to dodge it, though.
Twang Thing's what, a goblin?
Yeah, Twang Thang's a goblin.
I like their hat.
Oh, it's a very nice hat. And Boingo is down.
Is she buried by earth?
Yeah, she's in a bad way.
She's suffocating. Great.
Okay, Zann is no longer entangled.
Oh. Zann makes some happy bird noises.
Okay, it is now Twang Thang's turn. Twang Thang has just taken an arrow. The ground under her has collapsed. Ert is there, looking scary. Lunk Thunk does not appear to be doing anything productive. Speaking of which, Lunk Thunk does not break free of laughing.
Just a laughing pile of dirt.
Ert is standing on top of a laughing pile of dirt.
Okay, so
Yes,
as a
wait.
free thing, because of the situation,
Wait. Terry broke his concentration.
You did?
Yeah, he had to in order to teleport.
Ah.
Teleport to concentration?
I mean, it doesn't say it is, but I was pretty sure that using magic is another
No.
way to break your own concentration.
You only lose concentration if you do something else that requires concentration or you take damage.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
OP.
So, Terry is still concentrating on that then. And
Terry is still telling her joke.
so
It's a really
here
long
we are.
joke,
Quang
guys.
Thang is surrounded by a whole bunch of hot fucking nonsense. Does not like this at all. If one of you would like to capitalize on it in some way, now is the time.
Ert's gonna raise a hand.
Quang Thang aims the bow up at Ert, shaking.
Question: are you one of the enemies? I can't tell.
Oh my fucking god, Ert.
Oh no.
Is it just because you like Twang Thang's hat?
Yes, entirely.
Out of character, yes. In character, we don't know. You'll never know.
Ert may roll a persuasion check.
Okay, 1 second. 16. That is inordinately high for
Or yeah.
Twang Thang lowers the bow a bit and says, no, I innocent bystander.
Ert. This is a very dangerous area. As you can see, we are doing major earthworks. I'm going to need you to back up and leave the area.
Yes, sir, right away, right away. And then Twang Thang just like throws herself off the fucking cliff.
Oh, what? What?
She just run. She
Just
gonna run
dies?
off.
No, she'd roll an acrobatics check. She actually lands on her feet and scampers the hell off.
Shoot. Okay.
Combat is functionally over as soon as you guys decide what the hell to do about Lunk Thunk.
Ert sitting there like, I always wanted one of these.
Terry looks to Ert and goes, "If you can convince it to join us, then sure."
Zann just walks over to Burno and chops his head off.
For fuck's sake.
Zann does not like Burno. Really does not like Burno.
You're going to need a shovel to go find his head.
No, he would have fallen. He didn't get buried. He would have the earth sunk underneath him, I thought.
Yep. He fell down, and Zann just flew down into the little crevasse, finds Burno, still sleeping, completely fucking decapitated. Burno's dead.
I go ahead and start looting him for the magic items because I remember what Pep said.
Okay, so Ert is sitting here, despite all logic, trying to convince everyone that they need to take Lunk Thunk home.
Zann calls up through the crevasse and says, "Terry, I'm leaving this one to you. I have no say in the matter."
Ert wants to hook him to a wagon.
Out of character? That's actually a really dope idea.
I mean, it's completely immoral.
Since when has Ert ever cared about morals?
Well,
What?
yes, but I supply that option to you guys.
Well,
Ert is clearly advocating for enslaving the giant goblin thing.
Zann just watched Pep go down and was stuck in entanglement for a few rounds. Zann is really pissed off, hence the beheading of the dog. So he really doesn't care right now.
Terry's already said, if you can convince it, you can take it.
And Ert still has inspiration. I want to point that out.
Okay. Ert is going to dig down to Lunk Thunk and announce that we are here to rescue him.
Ert, roll me a persuasion again.
Use that D6, baby.
Do I need the D6?
I will need the D6 if you want to actually convince him to be friendly to you.
16?
Lunk Thunk, upon getting up, is like, "You save Lunk Thunk?"
Yep,
Oh,
we
man.
saved you. Now, if you would just file in with all those soldiers over there, we'll get you hooked up with your rations.
Wait. Question.
Ert's just staring at him.
Where Burno?
Oh, yeah. He's dead over there in the ditch.
He dead?
Yep, tragic workplace accident. Zann, get out of the way.
Zann is like wiping blood off of his longsword, staring intently at Burno's body, really angrily.
Yeah, workplace accident.
Now, I'm not trying to be insensitive or anything. Are you gonna eat him?
Lung Thump considers and then says, "Can roast him first?"
Yep, let's roll.
We're talking about Burno, right? Okay. Zann is super okay with this after he
And
loots
the
Burno's
soldiers
body.
are not okay with this. They haul the Burno away.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, the
God.
soldiers are just like, "What the fuck is happening?"
And it's like,
You'll-
look, dude, he was going to waste.
When
Zann just glances at the soldiers and say, "You guys will get used to it." Keeps walking.
Oh my
What did I pull off of Burno, by the way?
A lot of nebulous magic items.
Okay, I can just give those all to Urt.
Yeah, we'll sort of do rolls between sessions to figure out what's been looted, I guess.
I'm down.
Okay. So, meanwhile, let's cut the camera over to Terry. So, Terry, this is, of course, your friend, Kethlin.
yes, after Kethlin handles getting Pep to a stable condition, where she's not busy, Terry will give her a hug and say that it's good to see her again.
Urt entirely forgot there were hostages involved.
And Zann is just
Kethlin
dealing with Pep.
is just like, oh, God. Terry, it is really, really good to see you. And I'm really glad that you saved me from these goddamn idiots. I was just so offended that they... Ugh.
And Terry just kind of looks at the cage and just like, is this iron?
She nods and says, yes, which is why I wasn't trying to break out of it myself. I'm not sure if it's poisonous to me, but better safe than sorry.
He nods in agreement and just don't want to risk it.
Exactly.
Urt is suddenly curious.
She looks around to Urt and Zann and says, friends of yours?
Terry just, in a sense, Terry looks to the other two and goes, "This is Kethlin. She's a civilian. She comes from where I live. Kethlin, this is Urt, the man in charge of the pylon, and Zann, a mercenary."
Zann walks up to Kethlin and says, expresses intense thanks for helping Pep and stabilizing Pep, and pretty much just tells Kethlin, anything you need from me, I'm here for you. Like, you helped one of mine, I'll help you with whatever.
Urt just points at the person and goes, "Fairy?"
Kethlin sighs and says, no, but I am descended from Fae.
Urt walks up.
Zann tells Urt to be very careful with his next actions because that is a friend.
Urt tries to make the fairy touch the iron. And like, stop moving.
Zann punches Urt in the
Stop
back of the
moving.
head. Zann punches Urt in the back of the head straight up. Like he gets decked. Or I'll try. Do I have to roll for it?
Roll.
Yeah, fucking do it.
All right, I'm punching you in the back. I'm trying to punch you in the back of the head. I ain't taking none of this right now. 16.
Urt's like, stop that.
Wait, that's your DC. What's your
17,
AC?
actually.
That is
that
over.
actually
That is
doesn't
one
hit.
under DC too. But I
I'm gonna
think
use-
you're punching his bald head.
I'm using an inspiration die if it's one under.
Go for it.
Roll it. Roll the fucking inspiration die.
What is it? /R1d6.
Yep.
It's a 19 to hit.
Oh God, you've hit me.
Urt, you are suddenly at about half your health.
Ah!
Zann tells Urt that he was being very serious when he said to not hurt the friend.
Terry just, if you couldn't tell, Urt is very much an Empire dwarf.
Kethlin gives a heavy sigh and says, Urt, I don't think we're going to be friends.
Science.
Why can't
Listen,
he say...
have some things that I really need to do. When when these idiots caught me, I had to drop something of mine that I need to look for now. But I plan to take you up on your offer, Zann. That is your name, right?
Yes.
Right. Then I probably am going to have some work that I need done, and I would really appreciate your assistance with it. But for right now, I really, really need to find what I'm missing.
Did the dog man have it?
No, it was something that I stashed before they caught me.
Okay.
Terry says that he will help her get it back. There is absolutely no hesitation.
Thank you. Then I am probably going to be relying on your help a little bit. But it looks like the rest of you have a contingent of soldiers.
Terry just, yeah. You know how I became a political diplomat, right?
Yes, I had heard something about that.
Yeah, turns out the guy that was originally in charge got turned into a literal red mist, and I'm now de facto leader.
She blinks and then says, "That's a hell of a promotion. Is it actually good for you, or?"
Well, the land is considering all of us to be deserters, and if we are found by the next wave of Empire soldiers, we'll be arrested for treason.
Fantastic. So, looks like we're on the run together, huh?
Zann pipes up and says, "It's a lateral move. Pretty much the same position we were in before."
Right, mercenaries. Well, I can work with that. Anywho, well, I think that's about it for me for now. Come on, Terry, let's go ahead and take a look for some of my old possessions. How did you get up here?
Oh,
Zann flaps his wings very loudly.
yeah, Terry following her is just like, oh, right, they built a ramp. It's this way. Mhm. Mhm.
The ramp has already fallen down or refuses to build it bigger back.
Zann puts a hand on on Ert's shoulder again and whispers into his ear, "Friend."
Terry has
Okay,
an idea
Ert's
if
gonna go
Ert
pick
doesn't.
up the fox corpse and carry it with us.
What about Boingo?
Boingo's buried by Earth, I think.
I don't think Snowblind is actually dead. I think we left Snowblind near death and
That's
Boingo
gonna
is
be
buried.
super awkward when we get back to camp then
I
and try to
I
feed him
had
to the goblin thing.
I had Pep slice him a second time when he went down, so I don't know what that does. But after he
He
went
Number
is
down,
said he's
literally
very
inches from
close.
death. I could make a roll right now to determine if he's dead.
go for it.
Snowblind is not dead.
Cool.
Boingo is not dead.
Just Terry is saying it's like, you know what? Let's at least unbury Boingo. Those two were just probably lackeys.
Ert still thinks we're gonna feed them to Lunketh
We are
Burno.
not. We are not feeding them to Lunk Thunk.
No,
Zan
no, no.
tells
He's Lunk the Burno.
Zan tells Terry to go ahead and to help his friend out, and tells Ert to go ahead and lead the soldiers back, and he and Pep will take care of the two.
Terry says fine, looks to Zan and goes, but if I hear that you decided to kill them, we will have problems.
Zan stares unblinkingly back at Terry and says, "You will not hear anything about this."
Then we're staying.
Zan draws a longbow and shoots Snowblind.
For fuck's sake.
They hurt Pep,
I
dude.
will allow Terry to roll an
Zan's
intimidation check to
Zan
stop this.
is really mad that they hurt Pep. Like, he is furious right now.
I will allow
I'm
Terry to roll an intimidate check to stop Zan.
24.
Zan, probably a better idea to keep the elf on your side.
Zan clenches a bit, glares at Terry.
After all, you did notice that he, just with a couple of subtle check marks on a clipboard, got Bruno to just say he's taking a nap.
Glares at Terry and says, "You did let the one that almost killed Pep get away, so I will remember this."
Meanwhile, Ert just starts dragging Snowblind.
And just Terry, leave them both alone.
Ert's still dragging them.
Terry, roll another fucking intimidation.
22.
Oh shit!
This elf
It's like,
sucks,
what?
man.
What? I was recycling them. Katie is hungry.
They're not dead.
Not yet.
Yes, that's why we can bring them back to Katie.
We are not going to kill them, and we're not going to feed the pylon. They were
And Katie
probably
will starve.
just lackeys who were doing all of this under the threat of Burno, which you have already killed.
Yeah, that was pretty sweet.
Zann
Yes.
still hasn't blinked, still staring at Terry, and says, "I will let this one slide
Urt goes and just grabs Zann.
because you helped Pep, but next time something like this happens, I will not be so kind."
Just ignore the conversation. Urt is dragging Zann away.
Zann keeps eye contact for a little bit longer with Terry and then follows Urt.
Stop luring.
Terry's gonna make sure Boingo is not suffocating before going back to Keflin and figuring out a way down the cliff.
All right. And so I'm going to go into a little bit of hand wave in just a moment. But before we get into that, Pep looks up to Zann. And she says, "Hey, Zann,
Yes.
I really appreciate you looking out for me. And, well, I might have just died there if it wasn't for your help. But just remember to keep a cool head, right?
Right.
I don't think we would have gained anything from their deaths anyway. They might be more useful to us alive."
Urt pokes Pep.
Pep looks over to Urt with an extremely unfriendly expression and says, "You shut the fuck up."
That's a lot of soldiers.
Pep looks to Urt and says, "Feel free to fill it yourself. You have plenty of soul, I hear."
Ah.
Pep is clearly not very impressed with Urt.
I don't think anyone is.
Yeah. Zann takes Pep over to the soldiers and starts leading the soldiers back.
Okay, and so here is the aftermath of this whole situation. So you guys have managed to get through without injuring any of your soldiers. You have recruited Lungthunk in order to haul heavy cargo. So, you'll have the option of hauling heavy cargo in future.
I want to make it clear that Katie is going to be tied to Lungthunk.
Oh my fucking god.
Oh my goodness.
I am actually going to improve Katie's movement speed then.
Yep, as it should be.
I am
Cards are for wimps.
I am so happy that we have a massive goblin called Lungthunk. That just makes
Okay.
me warm and fuzzy on the inside.
Okay, so here is the rest of the situation. Terry does indeed help Kathleen in order to find what she was looking for, but also, more personally important to Terry, because he helped Snowblind and Boingo, both of them are added to his hooks, and they are DC 14.
Sorry, I almost killed you.
Out of character, that's dope. In character, Zann's still really pissed off.
In character,
Boingo
Urt's like, the
and
crystal's not
Snowblind.
full, guys. I'm just letting you know, the crystal's not full.
We'll deal with that.
And then they, of course, will also get of the Border Alliance National Defense Initiative Treaty, unless they're going to tell me that they're no longer doing that.
Border Alliance National Defense. And yeah, okay. How do you have that down so well? Are you reading it?
Maybe.
Okay.
Do they decide to no longer be a bandit after all of that?
Yeah, Snowblind and Boingo are quitting. Boingo casted her last druid spell anyway, so she needs new work.
All right, so Boingo and Snowblind, and now I already used the guy from Supply. Burno's dead, so I'm just getting rid of him off of my list.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Nothing personnel, kid. Aha.
Okay, I will hit you up with a little bit more on the abilities of Snowblind and Boingo later. But that is more or less the session for today, and now we head back to the world map for Regiment on the Run.
I would like to ask, what was Kathleen looking for?
Kethlin was looking for an odd crystal that she managed to stow. She figured that if the bandits got it, then they would have just hawked it for money, but it's very important to her.
Mm.
So, did we actually get anything that would impress the CRT squad member?
Baron.
Yes, you did. Having some actual magic items for her to pour over, especially such a collection, she's very excited about that.
We
But
got
they're
a
all common and uncommon.
we got a cow-sized amount of magic items. A cow.
But they're
You know-
shitty items. They're hats of vermin.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, regardless of all that, she is still pleased, and so her side quest is completed. And Terry completed his side quest about helping his old friend, which means that you guys shoot from level 2 to level 4.
Oh,
Woo!
sweet.
That's
down.
pretty impressive.
I am down for this. Now I have to
So
look
do-
at uncommon items. Sorry.
So,
go.
do we have to hook left because that's the way we went?
No, you do not have to hook left. You can choose which tile you guys are going on to next. I will have a little bit more information for about the tiles surrounding you guys in a bit because I got to actually world build what those tiles are actually going to contain.
Well, give us the rundown of give us the basic rundown of what's going on with the town.
That town there is a trading post that regularly makes deals with the surrounding townships. Unfortunately, most of its trade has been restricted to the river. And so it is a place that you can go
Oh,
that has a
no.
lot of knowledge and information on the surrounding landscape and the territories that you might be going across. And they also know of some good transportation methods. The people here are very mercantile, and they are happy to take your coin.
It's a you're telling me it's a trading town that doesn't currently have road access and might want road access, and we have Mr. Roadman himself.
Exactly.
Oh man. Well,
Yep.
we've become the regiment of Bob the Builder. Can we
Hmm.
build that road? Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
I mean, that's all Urt is really good for.
Hey, Urt commanded the shit out of those soldiers during that fight.
It's true.